There it is. All right, all right, all right. We are live and in person. All right, we are back. We are back. Okay. Again, I am Deputy Sheikh Thomas Muhammad Eel. Long time no see. So let's get the party started. Rising to my highest heights, giving all perfect praise to Allah, the creator of creation. Now, with that being said, extending those high honors to all of the prophets who have come down the line of divine, mainly Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, and knowing something about these four Hebrew Muslims, we can talk to the entire planet. Extending those high honors to the man that we are here to discuss today, the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the Moorish Science Temple. Extending those honors to the man that taught me what I know, because I did not know anything about Prophet Noble Drew Ali or nationality or birthright or any of that. I'm speaking of our National Grand Sheikh Joel Bratton Bay in Baltimore, Maryland, to our grand body, who our National Grand Sheikh works with on a daily basis to move us upward and onward into hopefully perfection. I want to extend the honors of Islam and greetings of Islam to all the sheiks, deputy sheiks, sheikesses, deputy sheikesses, to all of our members, to all of our citizens, and most importantly, to our future, our children. I want to greet everyone. Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam simply means peace, peace, peace. And we cannot have enough peace in a mad, mad world that we find ourselves in currently. So hopefully, this demonstration this evening will give some clarity and bring you some peace of mind. You see, but it's something you and I have to do in order to get peace, because peace does not come free. You have to do something not only to get peace, but you have to do something to maintain peace, order, and contentment of mind. So that is our purpose here today. But before we get off into all of that, we have done a series of lectures and interviews, if you will. I haven't been on this platform, this YouTube platform, in over a year. That is by direct design. I put some information out, and I wanted to get the different Moorish paradigms time to analyze what we said, critique what we said, rebuke what we said. I gave you over a year, not one negative comment, not one. So that tells me, I know you got it. I know you saw it, because it's 3,800 views at this point. So I know you saw it. It's close to that on the interview that I did 2 years ago. So since you couldn't come up with any rebuke, not in truth, because the tangibility was on the screen and you could go back and fact check all of this stuff for yourself. And that's what we want you to do today. We want you to fact check everything we're going to say, but I'm going to do it a little different on this presentation. I'm going to put up some documentation that you have in your hand. Everybody in here got a social security card. Everybody in here got a birth certificate. So you will not be able to say that nonsense that comes out your mouth will Deputy Sheik, I took my paperwork down there to the government and they said they didn't recognize it. Well, we're going to deal with their paperwork today. They do recognize their birth certificate. They do recognize their social security card. They recognize their driver's license. So we're going to deal with all that today. So just sit back and relax. Get your paper and pencil out. Get your law dictionary out because we're going to go over some terms because we got to understand what we're saying. There's a lot of information out here on the internet. Matter of fact, I think it's too much information. It's information overload. So now the masses of the people are confused. They don't know who to believe, who's telling the truth, who's not, because everybody's on YouTube yelling at each other. They got fezzes on, look like the ones we're wearing here today. And you're like, well, I don't know. And we got other people charging people thousands of dollars for paperwork, thousands with a comma in it, for paperwork that don't work. It don't work. Yep, I'm smashing that up on this presentation because I'm going to put my paperwork up here. And I'm going to say some things today that I've never said. Oh, and just so you know, to our members, I got off the phone with National Grand Sheik yesterday. And what I haven't said, I ran it by him. I told him what I was going to say. Just stand by. Just give me a few minutes. He didn't go, well, hold up, brother. Wait a minute. Don't say that. No. He didn't say nothing. He said, that's interesting. And I know what that means. Green light go. Put your seatbelt on. All right. So we're going to get off into it. So hopefully you find this presentation, demonstration acceptable. Hopefully our grand body finds it acceptable because I'm going to do a follow-up. I'm going to let you know that right now. I'm going to do a follow-up because I know what's getting ready to happen. Some of us are crazy. We're going to try to crop and paste and copy and paste and cut and trim all this up because you got it on the video because I'm going to put it up there on YouTube. And I hope the Europeans smash you, really, because it ain't no need for it. I'm literally showing you the lawful process. So you exerting all this energy trying to do it illegal, you could have took that same energy and just did it and not been bothered. But nevertheless, this demonstration today, by me putting it in the public, is going to serve as your condemnation. Because I'm saying on the video, and I'm going to show on the video, if you cut this up any kind of way, I got the original. So when they come at you and then you go to screaming about what no Deputy Sheik said thus and so, I'm coming with the original. And I'm like, nope, that's not what I said. This is what I said. This is what I showed them. I don't know what paperwork that is. Oh, that look real pretty though. It's got a little thumbprint on it and everything. Real nice. Don't work. It don't work. Remember, I gave you over a year to deal with the last demonstration. Over a year, I ain't heard nothing from nobody. So if you couldn't refute that, you definitely not gonna refute this. I will put my life on it. Trust me. I'm in that mood. Don't try me today. Don't test me. All right, so we're gonna get off into it. But first, we got to do a recap because I know there are some brothers. I know somebody tripping right now. I know somebody is tripping. You looking behind me, right? And you like, oh my God, usually the brother had a prophet up there. Yeah, well, we don't have a prophet up there today. We actually got my favorite animal, the lion. And this one here do not play. That's why I bought it. That's how I feel. So that's how it go. We dealing with the lion today. But don't worry about the lion. Worry about what's coming out my mouth and what's jumping on your screen. So first, a quick recap. We got to first understand that we are in a republic. It's one government with two jurisdictions. One government with two jurisdictions. So when you go online, you see the moles and hear the moles talking something like this. Well, they don't have no jurisdiction. They don't have no jurisdiction. I hear a lot of that. But the funny part is you still standing in their jurisdiction. I'm gonna prove my point in a minute. You still in their jurisdiction. That's why they handling you the way they handling you. If you would put your paperwork on the record and follow the lawful process that you're about to see, they won't even talk to you. You talking about they don't have jurisdiction, but you standing in a courtroom. Deputy Sheikh Thomas Muhammad Ill does not go into a courtroom. I mail stuff. You send me a correspondence, I send you a correspondence back, and that's the end of the conversation. Because it's what I'm going to send you, and it's how I am positioned. What is my status in their system? What is my status? Get your law dictionary out and look up the word status, and you'll see what I'm talking about. We're going to come to it. We're going to deal with all of it. What is your political status? Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you a non-resident alien? You know, who are you? Not based on what you're saying at the barbershop. I don't care about that. That ain't what's happening. When we pull up your paperwork, when I run your social, when I run your driver's license, when I run your tag, when I run your passport, when I pull your job application, what is your status? What will come up in the system? Are you going to come up under the definition of sovereign people? Are you going to come up as a federal citizen? I don't know. We're going to get into all that though. Are you going to come up as a stateless person? You ain't a citizen at all, but you think you are because you was told you were. I'm a U.S. citizen. We're going to get into what a U.S. citizen really is, not how you feel. You're going to have to get out your feelings. And if you can't handle this truth, you know what to do. It's in the YouTube. You can, go ahead. Just don't watch it. That's the best advice I give you, because there's going to be a lot of laughing going on in this here. A lot of laughing. I'm going to be the one doing the laughing because they're not messing with me. I went back in my memory and I was like, let me see how long I've been at this. I have now been in a situation where I have not paid a federal income tax in 6 years. Now I'm gonna say something. This ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about, but it do. Brother and sister, we will never, ever, 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 ever get wealthy. Never. If you constantly have people in your pocket. You paying taxes over here. We got a hidden tax called inflation. We can't battle that because the paycheck only goes so far. You see, all because you refuse to correct your status in the system, so that you are now not party to whatever they got going on in the United States jurisdiction. I'm just leave that out there. We're going to deal with it. So we're going to start right now. I just had to get that off my chest a little bit because a lot of people are like, well, Deputy Sheik, we ain't seen you in a long time. Oh my God. Yeah, I had to give y'all time to exhaust your mouth and stop calling me with them ridiculous questions that I've already covered time and time again. You see, that's why I put the stuff in the public so you can see it. But then I noticed nobody responded to it. Not negatively. I'm like, okay, cool. That means you get it. You will pay attention, put your seatbelt on, and get this. So we're going to do a small recap. Now, your screen should have changed to the Articles of Association. All right?
Yes, it did.
Articles of Association, October the 20th, 1774. Why am I taking us back there? I'm taking us back there because this is now taking you back to the Republic, not taking you to the United States. Now we're talking about the United States of America, the Republic, for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for white. We're going to come to that in a minute too. Now, we, His Majesty's most loyal subjects, the delegates of the several colonies of New Hampshire, Massachusetts Bay, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, the 3 lower counties of Newcastle, Kent, and Sussex on Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina depute to represent them in a Continental Congress. We're going to stop right there. We have to understand that the European, and I'm going to do another one of these dealing with the European because I want you to understand that you've heard of this war called the Revolutionary War. And we have been made to believe that the pale-skinned European actually was handling all of this. Not the case, because white folks, as they are called, do lie. We had an empire. I'm talking about the Moors. The Moors had an empire east and west. We had dark-skinned Moors fighting other dark-skinned Moors. I need you to understand that when you are reading the Articles of Association. That's not our subject today, but I just wanted to put that out there because I'm going to do another lecture where we're going to get off into that with some illustration. Okay, but this is what I do want you to see. The Continental Congress was running every year. They would have a Continental Congress, have a little president, and every year that would change. And it was evolving into what you currently have today, but I'm going to get into that. It says, held in the city of Philadelphia on the 5th day of September, 1774. Why is that important? On the 5th day of September, 1774. This is the Articles of Association being written by the Moors. You do not see pale-skinned Europeans talking about they wrote anything. They tell you quick, they are the signers of the Constitution. They say they wrote it. Subject for another time. But anyway, this is coming out of a little book called What Your History Books Fail to Tell You by Hazim Hopkins Bey. What Your History Books Fail to Tell You by Hazim Hopkins Bey. On September the 5th, 1774, the Moors were a divided and defeated nation here in North America. On that date, the 13 European colonies or nations met in Philadelphia in a building known as Carpenter's Hall. As you see, that's exactly what's written right there on your screen. There are the 13 colonies right there. September the 5th, 1774. You're like, okay, this is where the Moors' nationality is being stripped. Make a long story short. The Moors' nationality is being stripped. Now, keep in mind, if the Moors, who are in the majority, and they are writing these wonderful documents, that means people that look like you and I was stripping other people that look like you and I's nationality. Let's get this straight. We had to go along with it. We was in the majority. Let's move on. That was in 1774. Europeans are trying to become a part of what the Moors had established here with the Great Law of Peace or the Great Law of Islam. See? So we're showing you now the evolutionary process. So you see at the Articles of Association, you see on your screen that the Moorish president was Peyton Randolph. And they're the signers. Look at the signers of the Articles of Association. Let's keep it moving. So now the Europeans are associating themselves with the Moors. They are talking to and petitioning the King of England. Hey, we got some grievances over here. We need redress. That went on for 2 years. Then it evolved into the Declaration of Independence that you see on your screen. This took place, now we're very familiar with this. This took place on July the 4th, 1776. We call it America's independence. First of all, let's get this straight. America is not the name of a country. Let's get that straight. America is the name of a continent. North, South, and Central. Central America is what is called an isthmus, which connects two larger bodies of land, which are bordered by large bodies of water, one called the Pacific Ocean, the other called the Atlantic Ocean. But the land is called America, not a country, a continent with several nation states on it. So we have what is called the United States, geographically located, centrally located on a landmass called North America, bordered by Canada in the north and Mexico in the south. Hopefully that makes sense. Get out your feelings. This is reality. So now we had the Articles of Association in 1774, which further evolved into the Declaration of Independence, as you see on your screen, July the 4th, 1776. I'm not going to get into all the details in this particular presentation. You have to tune in for later lectures and we'll deal with that. Okay, so now they are breaking off from England, breaking off from the crown, breaking off from the aristocracy, breaking off from the monarchy. They were ruled by a king and a queen. So you see the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. Now, united is lowercase, states is uppercase, and then you got of America. When you see of in English, that denotes possession. Hello? When you see of in English, that denotes possession, and that's the language that we are speaking, English. Okay, so we got to use the rules of English to properly understand what we are actually trying to communicate. So what you are looking at on your screen, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, that is written grammatically correct. United is an adjective describing the noun states. That's why states is capitalized. It's letting you know that there are 13 independent states. 13 independent states, and somebody is actually trying to join on to America, the continent, which was being governed by the great law of peace that the Moors set up in the Western Hemisphere. Lock in with me. Let's keep it moving. So a separation is taking place. A separation is taking place, not an integration, a separation. And once again, you see the signers. Then this further evolved into the Articles of Confederation. The Articles of Confederation. Okay. It's actually 1778. That's a typo right there. 1778. That is a typo. Articles of Confederation. So now this is the part where we really start the lecture today. And this is where your law dictionary is going to become handy. To all to whom these presents shall come, we, the undersigned delegates of the states, notice now states is capitalized, proper noun, affixed to our names, send greetings, Articles of Confederation. Now the states are becoming confederate. And notice what it says, and perpetual union. That means the union was already here. You have some Europeans now trying to join on to the union that was already here, the union that was established by the Moors in the Western Hemisphere, the union that was being governed by the great law of peace. Are we clear? Okay, between the states of New Hampshire, Massachusetts Bay, Rhode Island, and Providence, plantations, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, and Georgia. So if the names of all of these quote unquote states or state republics were already here and the European is coming over here, that means they didn't name none of this. They didn't name not one of these states. Let me give you an explanation. Let me help you with it. If you go to Europe, remember I said we had a empire east and west. We had Moors on one side of the Atlantic ruling. We had Moors on the other side of the Atlantic ruling. Moors, dark-skinned Moors that look like you and I ruling on one side of the Atlantic, which would be Europe, and on the other side of the Atlantic, which would be the Western Hemisphere, the Americas. Now, I just said, if the European, the pale boy, was not in control, and he was not, if he wasn't in control, he didn't name none of them states I just ran down to you. But if you go into Europe right now, you're going to find a place in Europe called York, Hampshire. You're going to actually find places like this. So in his arrogance, he calls it over here New York. It ain't new, fool. It's modern. It ain't new. You are Johnny come lately on the planet. Pale man. Ain't nothing new. Everything is new to you. It ain't new to us. It's modern. Anyway, point number one in the Articles of Confederation. The style, look that up in a law dictionary. The style of this confederacy shall be the United States of America, also written grammatically correct. The style of this confederacy shall be the United States of America. So when you look on the back of our nationality card and you see Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the man everybody say they love, say, I am a citizen of the U.S.A. He's talking about the Republic. I don't know what you're talking about. He's talking about what we got on your screen. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's get that straight. The style of this confederacy shall be the United States of America. Listen to point number two. Each state retains its sovereignty. Each state. This would suggest that each state is independent of each other, meaning that when you tell somebody you are geographically living and domiciling in the United States of America, the United States of America has 50 independent states. That's what you was taught in the public school system, was it not? Each state has its own flag. Each state has its own constitution. Each state has its own government seal. Each state has its own borders. Each state has its own state citizens. State citizens, capital C. Just let that marinate, because this is where our subject is. The style of this confederacy shall be the United States of America. So the question that's on the table is, are you physically in the United States of America, or have you contracted with something else? I don't know. That's a question for you, not for me. Because there is a entity, a corporate entity called the United States. And then there is a republic called the United States of America. Now, I don't know which one you in, but we're going to find out by the end of this demonstration. I don't know which one you in. And just for argument's sake, because I know somebody out there, I just lost everybody. I know I just lost somebody. They're like, I don't know what he's talking about. I ain't never seen that. I ain't never heard that. Okay, I got you. I got you. So we're gonna bring some illustration to the table to help you with your understanding. Let me find it. Hold on. I gotta find it. Bear with me 1 second. There we go, right here. I'm gonna help you find it. This is the back of your Federal Reserve note, or what is affectionately called a $1 bill. So over here on the left, you have the United States of America. You have the governmental seal for the United States of America on the left. This is the jurisdiction of the Moors, the republic for which it stands. One nation under Allah, indivisible for liberty and justice for white, which is a legal status. Then on the right side of the screen, you got the United States, a corporate entity, and you are very familiar with that governmental seal, very familiar. It's not the seal for the United States of America, it's the seal for the United States. So what they do is they trick you into filling out all kind of paperwork asking you, are you a US citizen? It didn't ask you if you're a citizen of the United States of America. It didn't ask you whether you was a state citizen. A hint to the wise is sufficient. A hint to the wise is sufficient. So let's get back to it. So Articles of Confederation. So now you see the evolutionary process. A union is already established in the Americas. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back. Let me go back, because somebody I know, they're going to be like, well, wait a minute. I ain't never seen it before. So that way you won't be able to feign ignorance. Let me get it back up here on the screen. Hold on. Right here. I got you. Now, see this? See this? Now your screen should have changed to the Union. This is what it looked like before the Pale Boy was even a thought on the planet. See, all he's doing is copying what we've already established. The Union. Now that's gonna have great significance in just a minute. If that's the Union, and it is, what you think happened when we get here? So now it's further evolving into what is today called the United States Constitution. Here we go. See that? The United States Constitution. Let's get right to it. We're not going through the whole thing. We're going to go through some of it, but we ain't going to go through the whole thing. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. See, more perfect. More perfect. Hold on. Wait a minute. Visual aid. Got to help you. Hold on. Let me find it. Bear with me. Boom. More perfect. So we got more perfect. We're adding some folks to what was already established. Are we clear? I hope so. I got to keep moving because time's just getting away. We the people, which was 35 Moors and 20 Anglo-Saxons, 35 Moors and 20 Anglo-Saxons, established we the people in order to form a more perfect union. Well, you couldn't have a more perfect union unless you had a union to begin with. Establish justice, ensure the domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States, not of the United States, for the United States of America. When you see that little word for, then you know you're dealing with the original Constitution that our ancestors wrote. If it reads like this, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America, you are dealing with the United States corporate entity. Don't take my word for it, brother and sister. Google it. You Google everything else. You don't research nothing. Google it. Try me on it. And put both constitutions, the preamble, side by side and watch what I tell you. If it says for the United States, and that's what you got on your screen, that's dealing with the Republic. The first 7 articles of the Constitution is the free national Constitution that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is talking about, which has free natural citizens. That's the Republic for which it stands. If it says, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States, you are dealing with the District of Columbia. You are dealing with the U.S. Congress. You are dealing with a corporate entity. And you yourself now you have to change your status, your position within the social construct in order to get any justice at all. Please believe. Okay, so I hope we made that clear. We're gonna move on. I'm moving kind of quick. It's a video, so you can stop it, rewind it, fast forward it, do what you need to do in your study. But we are going to move on. So recap real quick. Union in the Americas. We have, the Moors have a government, a participatory government running in the Americas. The Europeans are like, hey, we're not getting justice over here where we are. Let's go to the Americas and see, can we join on to this union? They studied us. They said, okay, we like what we see. We want to join on. So the Articles of Association, they had to associate themselves for 2 years with the Moors. That further evolved into the Declaration of Independence, where they did an official break off from the crown, the King and Queen of England. They broke off in 1776. Then they became Confederate in 1778 with the Articles of Confederation. And then that evolved into a more perfect union in 1789, I believe. Yes, 1789. And that's where we are. And that's where we are right now. You say, no, it ain't. You're right. Because we had another war that came up. Slavery was a big issue. It was on full tilt. Slavery back then was what oil is to the world economy today. Slavery back in the 1700s, human chattel was what oil is today. So people were fighting and trying to get more slaves because there was a lot of money tied, a lot of gold and silver tied to that. Okay, so you had the Moors on one side of the Atlantic cooperating with the Moors on this side of the Atlantic, and they had an extensive slave trade just running rampant. Yes, we did it to ourselves. And if you doubt what I'm saying, if you doubt, because I know you need some modern, because you ain't gonna look nothing up, you ain't gonna read nothing, then go get a movie called 12 Years a Slave and just see if what you see in that movie is what you were taught in school. They taught you in school that, man, it was ships building, and in Africa, the European, the pale boy went over to Africa, got our ancestors, brought them over here to America, and they had back to Europe, and they, we had it popping off. That's what you were taught. That's what I was taught. But then when you watch the movie 12 Years a Slave, you see that a brother was in the North having a drinking. He was drinking with some pale-skinned Europeans, got drunk, passed out, and they took him down south. He never left the geographical area of North America. And he was enslaved. Uh-oh. Check the movie out. Don't take my word for it. Okay, good. Now, got that in. Check it out. All right. So now, I just told you the Moors' nationality was stripped September the 5th, 1774. I told you that. What do I mean your nationality was stripped? Everybody has a nationality, brother and sister. Everybody. When you are describing human beings, you describe them by their nationality. No human being is described by crayons, colors, white, black, brown, yellow, red. No, that's a misnomer. That does not properly or adequately describe what you're looking at. A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. A noun is a person, place, idea, or thing. An adjective is that which describes the noun. So if you are a quote unquote black man, what's the noun? Black is an adjective describing a noun. What is the noun? See, because if I say black tennis shoes, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Black is not the noun. Black is telling you the color of the tennis shoe. Hello? You get it? Let's move on. These are basic concepts. Everybody on the planet understands this until you get to the Wild Wild West. And now you're in the United States. You're dealing with that corporate entity that's sitting in the District of Columbia. So now it's a color caste system. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Color caste system. So you say, what does that got to do with anything? I'm gonna tell you. As soon as I find what I'm looking for, all right. So one of the things I'm gonna do, since we say Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the man, not a man, the man. Okay, then let's bring his literature. Let's bring the man's literature to the table. So we can talk about what he talking about. We ain't talking about what you talking about. We talking about what he actually said. And I'm not gonna talk over your head. I'm gonna get right to the point. This is Prophet Makes Plea to the Nation. Now, I probably should put this up here, but I need to move on for the sake of time. If you have our Naturalization Orientation Handbook handy, get it out and read it. It's in there. Or you have the Prophet's literature, get it out and read it. And if you don't have the Prophet's literature, go right here to this website. I want everybody to go to the website and just purchase it. Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America Incorporated, number 13, the Moorish American National Republic. There it is. That's our official website, MoorishAmericanNationalRepublic.com. Lock it into your favorites page. This is what it looked like. Now, you can do what you want. You're an adult. You can do what you want. I'm just putting some information out here for you. Okay, let's keep it moving. But like I was just getting ready to say, Prophet makes plea to the nation. Our divine and national movement stands for the specific grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I, the prophet, am applying to all loyal, faithful Moors, members, and the American citizens. Notice the verbiage that he's using to help me in my great uplifting acts of uplifting fallen humanity among the Asiatic race and nation. For I have suffered much and severely in the past through misunderstanding of what the movement was dedicated to. It is the great God Allah. It is the great God Allah alone that guides the destiny of the divine and national movement. I know all true American citizens. Notice the language. I know all true American citizens are identified by national descent names. Well, first of all, you got to know what your national descent name is. You got to know what America is. America is a continent. Anyway, to answer and apply, wait a minute, let's come again. I know all true American citizens are identified by national descent names. To answer and apply to the free national constitution. Now, I just told you that the free national constitution was the first 7 articles in the original constitution of this free national republic. Prophet Noble Drew Ali calls it a republic, for which it stands. One nation, under Allah, indivisible, with liberty and justice for white. I'm gonna keep saying that all day till you burn it in your brain. We talking about a republic. I don't know what you talking about with a democracy. Oh, you must be in the United States jurisdiction, because that's what they got over there. In their jurisdiction, they got a democracy. In our jurisdiction, we have a republic. We have the union. Let's move on. So, and then it says, let's come again, because I don't want you to lose the point. I know all true American citizens are identified by national descent names to answer and apply to the free national constitution of this free national republic of the United States of America, of the United States of America, of the United States of America. Don't you remember seeing that in the Articles of Confederation? The style of this confederacy shall be the United States of America. Don't you understand that when you flip the back of your nationality card over, it says, I am a citizen, capital C, of the U period, S period, A period. Maybe I got to say it like this. I am a citizen of the United States of America. Maybe you get it now. Not the United States. Two different things. Prophet talking again and plea to the nation. That's why I am calling on all true national citizens to help me morally and financially in my great work I am doing to help this national government. For without a free national name, hello, you got to know what your free national name is, with a decent flag of your forefathers. Oh, so you got to know what your flag is too? There is not a national divine title of the government in which we live. This is from your true and divine prophet unto all American and foreign sympathizers, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Hope I did that justice, because we are talking about the prophet. So I hope we, hope Allah finds that satisfactory. But you got to know what your free national name is. Well, if you read Act 6, last tier law in Act 6, Prophet Noble Drew Ali tells you what your free national name is. He tells you what it is. Moorish America, descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. You say, Africa's over there. Okay, roger that, real quick, and then we're going to move on. At one time, all the landmass were joined together. Will we agree? Will we agree? Then there was a shift, series of earthquakes. This is ancient times, series of earthquakes, and then now we have large bodies of water. The Atlantic Ocean on the eastern seaboard of what is called the Americas, and on the western seaboard, you have the Pacific Ocean. But if the landmass was joined together, and the first true and divine name of Africa is a Mexam, that means that whole landmass was a Mexam. Okay, or in this case, Africa. And if you interlock your thumbs, you take your hands, I don't know if you can see this, you interlock your thumbs together. Now, this landmass, or my two hands represent, or your hands represent Africa. A series of earthquakes happened, and now your two hands have separated by 4 or 5 inches. And where your hands were, you now have space. In that space is a large body of water, now called the Atlantic Ocean. If it was Africa on one side, then it's still Africa on the other side. Hello? People just renaming stuff. Africa on one side, Africa on the other side. The Moorish Americans are descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Of denotes possession. Hello? Hint to the wise is sufficient. We're moving on. Hopefully that makes sense. Because I got to get to what I'm talking about. So today, we understand that the nationality of the Moors have been stripped or has been stripped. So let me do this. Since I'm done with this particular section right here, let me go back up here so I can make sense out of this, because somebody ain't going to know what I'm talking about. So this is our naturalization orientation handbook that everyone should go to our website and purchase. Okay? You should go to our website and purchase. You should go here, okay, to this website and purchase this little booklet along with everything else that has been written of the prophets literature. Buy it all, read it, and apply it. But anyway, there are 7 acts. This is Act 6 of 7. Okay. With us, all members must. It's not a good suggestion. It's not a great idea. It's not something I might do. It's not something I'm thinking about doing. It's something that you must do. With us, all members, not some members, all members must proclaim their nationality. Well, you can't proclaim what you don't know. You cannot proclaim what you don't know. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality. So you have to be taught what your nationality is, because our nationality as a people was stripped September the 5th, 1774, back there at the Articles of Association. Is it making sense? With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they must know that they are part and parcel of this said government, part and parcel of this said government. So you mean you actually are a part of said government? Said in law dictionary, when you look it up, means that which was before. Well, what was before what you have now? It was the Union. It was before what you are currently experiencing, called the United States. The Union is perpetual. It can't go away. I say again, the Union is perpetual. It cannot go away. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they must know that they are part and parcel of this said government, that which was meant before, the Union, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, African Americans, or anything else you feel like identifying with today, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to the slaves by the slave holders in 1779. That would be the same year that the Constitution was signed, with the folks trying to join on to. Hint to the wise is sufficient. And lasted until 1865, during the time of slavery. Well, what happened in 1865? Was that not the conclusion of the Civil War? Was we not fighting a slavery issue? Do we not have a major slavery issue going on here in this area? But this is a new era of time. What constituted the new era of time? Join on to our School of Law and History, and they'll teach you all about the new era of time. I'm not going into it today. Okay, now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized. Well, we're going to get into how you become recognized. What do you have to do to become recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth? This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. What sinful ways? Clinging to names and principles that delude to slavery. You just don't want to let go. So we are suffering all kind of injustice and travesties because of the way we have been positioned and our political status in the social construct called the United States. We're going to deal with it. And then in the last tier, Noble Drew Ali says, the Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. I just wanted to put that on the record. I wanted to put it on the screen so you could see it for those that have never seen it before or read it or even understood it. Notice he keeps saying members. He keeps talking about members. See, we got members and then we got citizens. We got members, then we got citizens. Which one are you? Are you a member? I've been in Moorish Temple all my whole life. I'm not impressed. Not impressed. Because now the question is, are you a member of the Moorish Science Temple or are you a citizen of the Moorish Science Temple, National Republic? That's a question for you, not for me. I remember last year, Sheikh Azir did a very good demonstration on that, broke that down. I'm not gonna get into that today, but I'm gonna show you how you must apply to the free national government. I'm gonna show you how to do that. How much you apply? Let's get into that. How much you apply? Let me read it again. Let me get it back up here, because we're gonna deal with the prophet's literature. We ain't talking about what you talking about. I done told you. We ain't dealing with what you talking about. We dealing with what Prophet Noble Drew Ali is talking about. Once again, prophet makes plea to the nation. Our divine and national movement stands for the specific grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. And I, the prophet, am applying to all loyal, faithful Moors, members, and the American citizens to help me in my great uplifting acts of uplifting fallen humanity among the Asiatic race and nation. For I have suffered much and severely in the past through misunderstanding of what the movement was dedicated to. It is the great God Allah alone that guides the destiny of this divine and national movement. I know all true American citizens are identified by national descent name. Again, your national descent name is Moorish American. To answer and apply to the free national constitution. Well, the free national constitution is the first 7 articles of the original constitution for America, not of the United States, for the United States. There you go. All right. Now, so how does one apply to the free national government? How does one apply to the free, how does one come under the protection of the free national constitution? How does that happen? How does that happen? Well, the only way you could figure that out is you have to once again use the prophet's literature. Does that make sense? Go to Act 5. Go to you heard me just, you saw me just read Act 6. Go to Act 5. Try that. Read that. I'm gonna have to put it up here on the screen because I don't want nobody to have the excuse of now saying, well, I ain't never seen the acts. I hear you talking, brother, but I ain't never seen it. So I'm gonna take my time and put it up. I was gonna run by it real quick and just go under the assumption that you know what you know, but that just wouldn't be smart. So I'm gonna run down to it on the screen. Take my time with you. Hopefully you're not going to sleep. I hope y'all ain't going to sleep out there. In TV land, I know y'all tired when y'all start hearing information go over your head. You're like, I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy. No, wake up. That's the problem. You sleep. So again, our National Grand Sheikh Joel Bratton Bey with one of our Mobites has put this wonderful book together called the Naturalization Orientation Handbook. Again, if you don't have it, please buy it. Go on the website and buy it. It has a lot of information that you ain't gonna find nowhere else in it. And the funny part is when you bring this up to the European, he don't say nothing. He don't say nothing. He don't disagree. He just get you out of wherever you standing. He gonna usher you out. Get out. Don't want to deal with it. And that's okay. Here we go. I found what I'm looking for. I need us to first understand. You see what you're looking at? The Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, founder. You see why I opened up my opening remarks? Why I say Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder? Because I want you to understand we're going back to the original source of the information. So you can't say, well, that's what your National Grand Sheikh said. That's what your Sheikh said. That's what your Sheikhist said. And you go, that's your excuse. Well, I can't trust none of that. Okay, you ain't got to trust them. Read it for yourself. This is what Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder, said. Can we agree on that? Acts 1 through 7. But we're going to focus in on Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government. Now, we saw that word said in Act 6. You looking at Act 6 right below it. Said government, but to obey herein. Well, what is the constitution of the said government? It would be the Constitution for the United States of America. Uh-oh. Well, how does one apply to the Constitution? We got to bring the Constitution to the witness stand. Don't that make sense? Let's see how one applies to the free national Constitution. Don't worry, I got it pulled up on the screen already. Let me get to it so that everybody can see it. Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me. Boom. Uh-oh. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4 of the Free National Constitution, the first 7 articles of the original Constitution, of which the Europeans were the signers, not the writers of. They were the signers of, not the writers. They did not originate this lovely document. So, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4 says, to establish a uniform rule of naturalization, and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcy throughout the United States. Wait a minute. It said to establish a uniform rule of naturalization. I'm not gonna beat this point up. We're not talking about what you talking about on YouTube. We are not naturalizing our people into a corporate entity called the United States that is geographically situated in the District of Columbia. No, we are not. We are naturalizing you into the United States of America, into the Republic, into said government, that which was before, the Union Republic. To establish a uniform rule of naturalization. Why is that so important? I said on September the 5th, 1774, the Moors' nationality was stripped at the Continental Congress or the Continental Convention, pardon self. This is a matter of historical record. This is not my opinion. These are facts. I have been to Carpenter's Hall. I can literally put the photo of me standing in the doorway of Carpenter's Hall on the screen. But this ain't about me. This is about you and your failure to correct your status. Naturalization, Black Law Dictionary, 5th edition. The process by which a person acquires nationality after birth and becomes entitled to the privileges of citizenship. Wait a minute. What? This ain't what I'm this ain't my opinion either. These are facts. I didn't say we was naturalizing you into the United States. That's what they do when you come from overseas because you don't know no better. Because you think that the name of the country is America. That's how they get you. You don't understand America is a continent and she has citizens. Yes, she does. I'm going to prove my point in just a minute. The United States got citizens too. Question is, which one are you? The process by which a person acquires nationality after birth. Well, if your nationality was stripped in 1774, then you would need to acquire nationality after birth, which means you would have to go through a naturalization process as instructed by the Free National Constitution, which is the first 7 articles of the original Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4 on your screen to establish a uniform rule of naturalization. It's not an option. It's not a good suggestion. It's not, well, I'll think about it. I'll do it when my time permits. You have no protection, no constitutional protection at all because you did not naturalize. And if you did, give me the date of your naturalization. I don't deal with what's coming out your mouth because many of us are just full of crap. I want you to show and prove. Show me the paperwork. That's what we're talking about today. Show me the paperwork. And let me digress here for just a minute and talk to our membership and citizens. If you have been under the leadership of our National Grand Sheikh, Joel Bratton Bey, out of Baltimore for more than 12 months, and your paperwork does not look like mine, that you're about to see in a little bit, and you can't go back into your court, into the court in your jurisdiction and show me that the paperwork is there, you're a U.S. citizen. I'm going to say that again. I don't care who you are. Sheikh, deputy sheikh, sheikhess, deputy sheikhess, member, been in the organization for years. If your paperwork does not look like mine, and before y'all get carried away and be like, who that brother think he is talking like that? Well, let me put it this way. My paperwork looked like National Grand Sheikh's paperwork. How about that? Now that's the man you claim to be following. So why don't your paperwork look like his? I'll take myself out the equation. Why don't your paperwork look like his? If we playing follow the leader, where he put his foot, you put your foot. Where he go, you go. What he do, what you see him do, you do. That's how follow the leader work. You lose the game when you don't follow the leader. So I ain't talking, I'm not puffed up. My paperwork look just like his paperwork. How do you know, brother? How I know that? Because I got his paperwork. But I'm going to put my paperwork on the screen. I'm not putting his paperwork on the screen. All right, but anyway, let's get back to it. To establish a uniform rule of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies throughout the United States. Naturalization, lawful definition, the process by which a person acquires nationality after birth. So if the nationality of the Moors was stripped in 1774, you got to go through a naturalization process. That's the point. That's the point. All right? I hope we're good. Well, since we on that subject, we better cover what a nationality is, because that seems to be the issue. Because if you got to proclaim a nationality, then you should understand why you have to proclaim a nationality, and you should be able to explain to me what a nationality is. So the lawful definition of nationality, again, get your Black's Law Dictionary out. That quality of character which arises from the fact, not my opinion, from the fact of a person belonging to a nation or state. Nationality determines the political status of the individual, especially with reference to allegiance, while domicile determines his civil status. What's the political status of so-called Black people? What's the political status of so-called African Americans? What's the so-called status of Europeans who are running around talking about they white? What's the so-called status of our brothers who identify themselves as Indians, even though they're in the Western Hemisphere? What's their status? And they're on a quote unquote reservation. What's their political status? Huh? Just some questions. Nationality arises either by birth or what? Naturalization. Nationality arises either by birth. Well, that didn't happen because your nationality was stripped in 1774. Or naturalization. When did you naturalize? And who authorized that? Who administered your naturalization? What was the person's name? What date did they do it, and where did they do it at? If it happened, you have all that information in your possession, just like you got your driver's license. I hope this makes sense. And again, if it don't, you ain't gonna catch everything today. Again, if it don't, then just watch the video again. Watch everything else I put up there, and eventually it will click. Please register into our School of Law and History. Let me put it up there again. Boom. Go to this website, MoorishAmericanNationalRepublic.com, and register into our School of Law and History. Go to MoorishAmericanNationalRepublic.com and register into our School of Law and History. Classes start now, immediately. It's a national emergency. So again, Prophet Noble Drew Ali in Act 5 says, this organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Well, according to the constitution of said government, you were supposed to naturalize, because that's what it says right there. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4. That's what it says, not what I say. That's what the Free National Constitution says. That's what Prophet Noble Drew Ali said in Act 5. That's what Prophet Noble Drew Ali said in Prophet Makes Plea to the Nation. One must apply to the Free National Constitution. And in order to do that, you must have a free national name and a religion on the record, so that you can be recognized by said government. Recognized means by governmental authority, widely known, publicly known, widely spread. Well, how are you going to do that if you are a Moorish American and you got your paperwork that was issued to you by our government sitting in a closet on the shelf? You didn't put it on the record so that it is not widely known, publicly known. So you are Thomas Muhammad Eel in the Moorish Science Temple, but everywhere else in your interactions and on paperwork, you are Willis McGillicuddy. When we run the tags on your car, that's what's coming up. When we go and get your job application, you ain't got nothing on there but a name. You ain't changed the political status. You ain't do none of that. You just did a name change. And when we call the IRS and we acquire about who is this individual, they go, yeah, he's a U.S. citizen. Not what I say, it's what they can prove. It's not what I say. It's what they can prove. And I know for a fact we have some people sitting right up under the leadership of National Grand Sheikh Joel Bratton Bey, who resides in Baltimore, you under his leadership, and you still a U.S. citizen. I know that for a fact. You get in some kind of controversy, you call Baltimore, you call him, and that's how we find out you ain't did what you supposed to do as a quote unquote member. Now here we trying to defend you in the controversy, letting everybody know, letting the so-called white man know that you have affectionately changed jurisdictions, but the reality is you are still over here on the right side of your screen. You have not changed jurisdictions at all. You still over here in the United States jurisdiction because you haven't straightened out your political status. You just did an adult name change and got your ill and bay annexed on your name. Good for you, but you didn't change your political status. You didn't take it all the way. So you're on the right side of the screen when you're supposed to be on the left. So this is why they still communicating with you from the right side of the screen, because you are a U.S. citizen. You got to go all the way through the process, brother and sister, that you're going to see in a few minutes. You got to go all the way through to get all the way out. But I understand why you don't want to get out. Slaves have been made dependent. How we going to eat? I eat very well, thank you. I know. I had to get it in. Because that's how you sound. Whining and complaining about everything because you don't want to stand up like a man and a woman and take an independent step. Separation is the best and only solution. Hello? I say separation is the best and only solution. That ain't Prophet Noble Ali didn't say that. Well, he believed in separation. President Abraham Lincoln believed in separation. And another little man that wore fez named the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught separation day in, day out. He said, not what I said, he said, it is more important to teach separation than prayer. Now, what are we dealing with if a so-called religious man tell you it is more important to teach separation than prayer, and prayer is necessary? What have we gotten ourselves into? Don't take my word for it. Look it up. Because you can't check. You ain't going to be able to come back and say nothing to me. I've been doing this for 30 years. You ain't going to be able to say nothing. I know every argument you getting ready to come with, and I will smash you with your argument. I won't even get into mine. I know you like that brother kind of bold. Test me on it. Try me. You'll see. All right. Anyway, so you're on the right side of the screen when you should be on the left side of the screen. On the right side of your screen is what is called the United States. On the left side of your screen is what's called the United States of America, the republic for which it stands. That's the government seal for the republic on the left. And on the right, that's the government seal for the corporate entity that's in the District of Columbia right now. That was created with the Organic Act of 1871, I believe. No, we ain't got to guess. I got it right here. We're going to pull it up. We are not going to guess. Boom, right there. I had it right. The Organic Act of 1871, you're looking at it on your screen. Hello? Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America. Hello? Remember when I said you see of the United States of America, you was dealing with the corporate entity? That's not the republic? Hello? Act to provide a government for the District of Columbia. It didn't say the United States of America. It said the District of Columbia, a 10 square mile area situated called the District of Columbia. That is the United States. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that all that part of the territory of the United States, see, they telling you what it is, included within the limits of the District of Columbia be, and the same is hereby created into a government by the name of the District of Columbia. Hello, ding, ding, ding. Hello, with the name District of Columbia. It's the United States, by which name it is hereby constituted a body corporate, look that up in the law dictionary, for municipal purposes, and may contract and be contracted with. Ain't that what you doing now? Sue and be sued. See, it's a corporate entity. Plead and be impleaded. Have a seal. Does that not have a seal? Did I not just put that up there? And exercise all other powers of a municipal what? Of a municipal what? Corporation. Not inconsistent with the Constitution and laws of the United States and the provisions of this act. I can do this all day long with the tangibility. I am not going to just talk to you without showing you what I'm actually saying from their records. This ain't our records over in Moorish Science Temple. These ain't our records. These are their records, their being the de facto government. Let's move on. Let's move on all day. All day. So now that we got that straight, this is where the Internal Revenue Service is. Hello? This is where the UCC is, the Uniform Commercial Code that many of you Moors are guiding our people to. Dummy. That's what the UCC is. That's what the IRS is. That's what the United States Treasury is. So if you didn't straighten out your status, you don't even know how to communicate with this entity, this legal fiction, this corporation. You don't even know how to deal with it. You are trying to deal with the corporate entity with its own rules. Let me go here. Let me just curl your socks. Now what? You see what this says? Robin versus Hardaway in 1790. Wait a minute, that would be the same year that George Washington took office. Wait a minute, that's 1 year after the Constitution was signed, Free National Constitution. Wow. Wait a minute, think about it. I need you to think about it. Robin versus Hardaway, 1790. Biblical law at common law. Common law supersedes all laws. And Christianity is custom, custom is law. Wait a minute. Common law, highest law of the land. You dealing with statutes, laws passed by your state legislature. UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, pardon me, still is a statute. You're dealing with the United States codes on the federal level. That's still a statute. Code and regulation. That only applies to corporate entities, legal fictions, not human. People whose nationality has been stripped. People who are identifying with slave brands. That only applies to them. And it's a lot of them out here because it seems too difficult for you to get in your jurisdiction. It seems too difficult for you to correct your status because you are afraid. You actually think by taking paperwork down to the courthouse and presenting it to the employees of the court and putting it on the record that you somehow are doing something illegal. This is what you believe. You ain't got the balls to say it, but that's what you believe. How do I know? Because many of us get in controversies, call National Grand Sheik in Baltimore. Then when we start doing a little investigation, we find out your paperwork ain't on the record. Your name is James Brown. No ill, no bad. Or You James Brown ill, James Brown Bay, and that's all you got. You just did an adult name change. You ain't changed your status at all. But you want a legal and lawful remedy. Brother and sister, we can't help you. You are in their jurisdiction. Sorry about that. I want access to our court. Our court works with common law. I say our court works with common law. And ain't no sense of you trying to deal with our court because you don't believe, you obviously didn't believe that your paperwork was worth putting on the record. So I don't know why you come into our court. Let me explain something to you. You can't demonstrate what you don't believe. You see how strong my demonstration is? Do you understand I talk to Europeans like this? I don't hear no. It don't even pop up in my, when I leave my living room, I know whatever I want, I'm gonna get. Because I'm just not hearing no. Because I understand that common law supersedes all laws. So anytime they come with them statutes, and that's all they can come with, I let them know, we're not dealing with that. We're dealing with the free national constitution. And it says that all of your quote unquote states are you're supposed to be aligned with that, the free national constitution. Watch how quiet they get. They get real quiet. They start backpedaling. That's when they start taking you into a private room. Some of you have had this experience, taking you down to the other side of the room, taking you in the back office because they don't want you to wake up the rest of the slaves. But just in case you thought I was playing, see what this says right here? Two different and distinct nations. This is the United States Supreme Court. This is not me. This is not me. This is the United States Supreme Court. The ideal prevails with some. Indeed, it has expression in arguments at the bar. The bar is law. That we have in this country substantially two national governments. Stop right there. Stop right there. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait for it. Hold on. I got to get it for you. Because I want to read it again and get it. Bear with me. Here we go. Let me read it again. I want to go right here. 1, 2, 3. Boom. 1, 2, 3. The idea prevails with some. Indeed, it has expression in arguments at the bar that we in this country substantially have two national governments. You thought I was playing. You thought I was playing. I'm just making stuff up. I'm just out here talking. Now, this is what I need you to understand, brother and sister. Do you think you are the only person that goes on YouTube and look at information? If you look at the information, do you understand that the United States government also, they have way more capabilities than you do? Do you understand my face is on the internet? I need you to think about this. And that if I'm instructing you to do something that's improper, unlawful, illegal, they would have been at my doorstep by now. We on year 6. Year 6. You know what I mean? Like, I'd have got a phone call, something, knock on the door, something. Hey, what you doing? Nothing. Not only did I not get any communication from them, I didn't get any communication from you. Try that on for size. And moles love to argue with each other on YouTube. I ain't heard nothing. I wish you would. See, I'm looking for the challenge. Now, the idea prevails with some. Indeed, it has expression in arguments at the bar that we have in this country substantially two national governments, one to be maintained under the Constitution. That would be the free national Constitution, the first 7 articles of the original Constitution with all of its restrictions. Okay. The other to be maintained by Congress outside and independently of that instrument. The one that's being maintained by Congress is the one that says of the United States. Of, not for the United States, of the United States. That's the one that's representing the corporate entity. That's the one that was brought into existence by the Organic Act of 1871. That's the one that's situated strategically and geographically in the District of Columbia, a 10 square mile area. That's where the IRS is. That's what many of you or most of you are contracting with. That corporate entity that is masquerading as a national government. It's not the free national government, it's the national government. That's why Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature, if you notice, he kept talking about the free national government or the free national constitution. Does that make sense? Okay, hopefully that makes sense. All right, perfect. Let's keep it moving. All right. And if you got questions, again, rewind, play again until you get it. You're not going to get everything overnight. So what is this all about? Let's deal with it. Can we move on? I'm moving on. Let me get some illustrations up here. Okay, wait a minute. Uh-oh, lost my PowerPoint. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so right now your screen should have changed to the PowerPoint. There should be a PowerPoint presentation on your screen. I hope you can see it. Because this is what they ain't gonna never show you. Now, our members have seen this. If you've been around for a minute, you've seen me do this time and time again, but there is a portion of this that you have not seen. I'm getting ready to go there today. And again, when you have your concerns, we're gonna see. All right, so I'm gonna magnify this so everybody can see it. And again, brothers and sisters, as I said at the very beginning, it don't make no sense for you to take pictures, crop, paste, copy, paste, whatever you feel like doing, because you lazy and don't want to go through the School of Law and History and then have and register into the Moorish Bureau of Vital Statistics and get your own paperwork. If you want to be lazy like that and chop up the paperwork that you're about to see and think you're going to go down to your local courthouse and put that on the record, I hope the Europeans smash you into oblivion. I really do, because you just illegal and unlawful at that point, when I am literally showing you the lawful process. Boom, your screen should have changed. Again, things should be magnified at this point. Let's get it up there. This is paperwork from our court that y'all don't believe in. It's okay. Moorish Supreme Court of Equity and Truth. I was petitioning the court for a name change form. That's okay. Here it is. Wrote it in blue ink. Everything is right there, just so you see. So that's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to put my paperwork in front of you so you can see it. Now I'm going to stop right here. Let me magnify this. Now, do you see what this says? Because when I got ready to put my paperwork on the record, our National Grand Sheikh Joe Bradden Bay out of Baltimore, Maryland said, not what I said, what he said. He said, no, Mo, I want you to go into their jurisdiction. Very strange. I was very strange. Here I got a petition for court order in our jurisdiction. And when I got ready, he was like, no, Mo, I want you to put your paperwork on the record in their jurisdiction. Yes, sir. That's all I said. That's all a dummy can say. Yes, sir. Didn't ask him why. Oh, I grew into the reason. Thank y'all moles that don't put your paperwork on the record. Thank you for helping me understand why he said do it this way. See, because Prophet Noble Drew Ali said that we must be recognized. And you can't be recognized because you can't demonstrate the paperwork that's in your hand sufficiently enough to back the so-called white man off of you. Many, if not most of you, if your life depended on it, you couldn't do it. How do I know? Because we ain't heard from you yet. Anybody that follows this procedure always has a testimonial. Always. You don't have a testimony, you didn't do it. Because there is absolutely no way you get to the end of this process that I'm about to show you and the European ain't say something to you. Ain't no way. Oh, you had some questions coming at you. Anyway, you see where we went. I didn't go into our court. I went into their court in the state of Arizona, in the county, Maricopa County. You see, this is my stuff. You see that CV number sitting up there? 2018-09-3199. That's going to have a very good significance. Pay attention to that. I'm going to show you that again. Application for change of a name for an adult. So now this is me annexing the ill to my name. And we're doing it in their court because we're trying to be recognized. You understand? We're trying to be recognized. We are proclaiming our nationality. In order for us to be recognized, it has to be widely known. It has to be in the system. So this was me doing that. Hopefully that makes sense. We're going to keep it moving. Boom. That's the form. That's that. You see, this is a copy. So the original has been filed. Boom. This is everything I put on the record right here. You see this name change form, name correction. When you go through let me magnify. When you go through the School of Law and History, when you graduate, when our national registrar sends you your paperwork, this is going to be in it. Let me give a shout out real quick. I don't know if the moles do shout outs, but we about to do a shout out today. This document was started by a brother named Eric Muhammad Eel, who I believe right now domiciles in Alabama. He started it, I finished it. I say Eric Muhammad Eel out of the Alabama Republic started it, and I finished it. And this document comes with your paperwork because what we have found is moles, again, they demonstration a little weak. So I give you talking points as to why you are doing what you are doing with the paperwork. It tells you what your race is. It tells you what the political status is. White. I am making a public notice of name correction and racial designation of white, Asiatic Moor pursuant to the federal codes. Oh, so you mean to tell me they got federal codes in the United States jurisdiction that bears witness to who we are? You mean this European no? So if you didn't come this way, what are you doing? Pursuant to federal codes 463 and 667 to effectuate my proclamation. Act 6, with us all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality. You understand? Are you getting it? Nationality. See what it is? Moorish American, which means you should have some documentation that says this is who you are. And that documentation must be on the record. We are Moorish American because of jus soli and jus sequentis, the right of blood and the law of the place of one's birth. The Moorish Americans are descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwest and the southwestern shores of Africa. Act 6. The law of one's descent or parentage. We are descendants of Moroccans born in America. Hello? If you hear anything that don't make sense, please contact a brother and let them know. But please have your facts together, because we're not going with your opinion. I'm not coming at, don't come to me about how you feel. Don't come to me about what you heard. I don't want to hear nothing about what Taj Tariq Bey said, Sabir Bey said. We're dealing with what the law is. We're going to deal with reality. We're going to deal with what the prophets say. We ain't talking about what you talking about. Let's keep it moving. according to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family, because these names were given to the slaves by the slaveholders in 1779. Now, if you went through the School of Law and History, you should know what this verbiage is. Act 6. And lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. I have proclaimed my nationality and divine creed and have taken the oath of amnesty and reconstruction. Stop. To all the Moors on YouTube, did you take the proclamation? I'm sorry, not the proclamation. Did you take, well, it is a proclamation. Did you take the oath of amnesty and reconstruction? No, you have not. See what it says in parentheses? A proclamation, December the 8th, 1863, to make it known that I am part and parcel of this said government. Uh-oh. Wasn't you instructed of that in Act 6 by Prophet Noble Drew Ali? The man you claim to be in love with? The man you claim to be following? Take our national grand sheik out of the equation. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, and every time I say that, you should slide a little closer to your camera. You should slide a little closer to the screen. You should come up to attention. Every time I say Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, see, this ain't how I feel. This is what he said. These are the proclamations that President Abraham Lincoln put down back there in the Civil War era, back there in the era of slavery. Didn't Prophet Noble Drew Ali tell you in Act 6 that slavery lasted until 1865? He didn't say ended. He said lasted. Because now slavery has changed forms. You got an entity now called the United States Corporation. That didn't exist in 1865. You have state governments aligned with the corporate entity called the United States Corporation. Now, that didn't happen in 1865. We were still operating with the free national constitution. We still had the free national government. So you see how if Prophet Noble Drew Ali comes 1917, 1930, you see how you got to bring your actions in line with what's going down today. I'm gonna just keep it going. Note I'm part and parcel of this said government. That takes you back to the Union. And then your ethnicity, you see what it is. And we have the Compensated Emancipation Proclamation there, dated December the 1st, 1862. And we got the vote count. I'm not getting into all of that. All right, it's there. By the Naturalization Orientation Handbook, it's all in there. Okay. The proclamations of President Abraham Lincoln. The 4 proclamations. Brother and sister, hear me well. The 4 proclamations of President Abraham Lincoln right now is the law of the land. 13th Amendment with 20 sections. Ratified November 18, 1865. Made a permanent part of the free national constitution. I ain't dealing with your opinion. I'm dealing with what we can prove, which substantiates those proclamations, is the law of the land right now. There is no quote unquote judge who will dispute that. Not one. Not one. They may argue with you about the 13th Amendment, but they're not going to argue with you about the proclamations. And there ain't really going to be no argument about the 1320. You just got to know how to demonstrate. So I put that letter that you just saw that comes in your packet. I put this in there. I put all this on the record. Now, let me magnify, because I don't want you to think that brother out here just running his mouth. You see that? You see that CV number? CV 2018 09311 court order. Now, this is the actual court order changing the name of an adult. Not going to waste time. Hold on. Let me magnify. You need to see this. See what it says? Look at the 2 little boxes on point number 1. Can y'all see that? I'm gonna make sure y'all see it. Oh yeah. The court finds this case has come before this court to change the current legal name of the applicant, that would be me, Thomas Muhammad, to change the birth record of the applicant. Uh-oh. So we're gonna change the birth certificate too? So whatever I do with this court order, if I change the status, my political status with the court order, not only am I changing the name, I'm also going to change my political status. Now, hear me well. I'm putting this on the record so when you come back with that nonsense, there is a testimony, is my testimony against you. Just because you have an order changing the name of an adult and you change your name, you still ain't changed your status, but you need the court order to change the status. You need a court order to change your status. So if all you did was take your paperwork down to the court and put it on the record, you are not done. You change your name. That's exactly what it says. Order changing name of an adult. Is that not what it says? That's what it says. You can take this court order and change the birth record of the applicant. You can do that too. You still ain't changed your status. I just want to make that clear. I'm going to show you how to change your status though. So you see Judge Lynch got his signature on there. We all good. We're going to keep it moving. I got our charter on there, highest charter of the land. I'm not dealing with our charter in this presentation. That's for another time. And this is our paperwork. Once you graduate the School of Law and History, you get paperwork to look just like this. Just like this. I ain't gonna give you time to copy and paste. You get a registration because you're gonna register yourself in the Moorish National Bureau of Vital Statistics. You get an affidavit of live birth declaration. So now we're neutralizing that birth certificate that you was given by the state that you were born in. The oath of amnesty and reconstruction that you took, either took it over the phone with our National Grand Sheik or you went through our naturalization ceremony and it was administered to you there. Got our government seals on it. We have the annexation of the ill or bay to the last name given at birth. Okay, got paperwork explaining why we're doing there. And then we're going to get right here. Paperwork. To all courts, governments, states, and nations, etc. Correction of records. Not some records, all records. The purpose of this correspondence is to notify your office of the corrections on all legal and lawful documents of the individuals named above, making this presentment in order that you may maintain accurate files. We already got accurate files on our jurisdiction. This is for their jurisdiction. Records and documents. It is paramount that the ancient Hebrew name of Il or Bay be annexed to the slave family name as indicated above by a hyphen. This includes all documents you may have on file pertaining to the individual's national name, nationality, race, and religion. Stop right there. Stop right there. Okay, nope, let's not stop right there. Let's go one more. Attached. Please find a copy of the official documents issued upon completing the naturalization process. Naturalization process as indicated in the Levitical Code. Not my code, not the United States Code, the Levitical Code, where it talks about Hebrew law at common law. You say you following Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That's what you say. Our power is derived from the great Quran of Muhammad. Our authority, affidavit of organization, form 1099, 10105-905, Charter of Warrant and Dispensation, number 1099, and the true policies of Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Emancipation Proclamation of Presidents Abraham Lincoln and Andrew Johnson. Do I need to read that again? Do we need to magnify? We done maxed out on the magnification. Let's try it one more time for emphasis. Attached, please find a copy of the official documents issued upon completion of the naturalization process, the process by which one obtains nationality after birth. That process, and becomes and now has the rights and privileges of citizenship. Naturalization. Levitical code. See, we divine, brother. You got to give the European something he recognized. Our power is derived from the great Quran of Muhammad. You know that's the Holy Quran of Mecca. Our authority, affidavit of organization, Form 1099. We'll talk about that at another time. SS 10105-905, Charter and Warrant Dispensation number 1099, and the true policies of the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and the Emancipation Proclamation of Presidents Abraham Lincoln and Andrew Johnson. So if you're trying to get around them proclamations, no wonder you're having problems and difficulties. Because they know what the law of the land is. Let's move on. And again, if you having problems, and situations, then just remember, watch it again. I'll put all this is on the record. All of it. This comes with you. See, comes in your packet. Now, pay real close attention. Some of you have seen this before. So now that we done took the paperwork, we petitioned the court for a court order. We received the court order. Now I got the court order. I don't know what you went through in your situation. I'm telling you what the judge told me. And every time I do something, I always have a witness. Because what you not going to do is say, I ain't never seen that. The Satan of self will jump right up in your brain. I ain't never seen that. I mean, brother say anything. How am I supposed to believe what the brother's saying? I mean, it sounds nice. That's why I always had a witness. Deputy Sheikis Marie Lee Bay was with me in the courtroom when I got the court order from Judge Lynch. Talk to her about it. See? But Judge Lynch told me, take this court order that I'm about to give you that you just saw, and I need you to go to Social Security first. Go to Social Security Administration first and straighten out your status. Those are his words, not mine. Status. I said, okay. He said, as Social Security goes, so does the rest of the government. Oh, so you mean to tell me if I go to Social Security first, they do an update of my status per court order in their system? That means when I go everywhere else, like the DMV, MVD, Arizona Department of Transportation, when I go to my job, when I go to the IRS, when I go other places, they will look on a computer, run my name, and they'll see the update from the Social Security Administration per court order, forcing them to recognize me as a Moorish American. It's not what I say, it's what I can prove. See, we're not asking permission. We're telling them, we are directing the court as to what they must all do. All of their de facto government agencies must come in line with whatever is attached to that court order. They understand Maricopa County Superior Court. They know exactly what that is. They know what the Arizona Department of Transportation is. It's on your screen. Driver's license, identification card, receipt. Do you see my fez on in there? They're telling you you can't wear a fez in a driver's license. Lies. See my fez on? If you come through the School of Law and History, if you go through our organization, we got paperwork for all that. You're going to see it in just a minute. Let's keep it moving. See, every time you do something, there's going to be a correspondence that come back on official letterhead. So if you ain't got no correspondence, we know you ain't did nothing. You're just lying through your teeth. You don't have no correspondence. Where's the paper trail? See, hold on, let me go back because you don't believe it. See, I applied for a driver's license with my national hairdress on it. I needed them to annex the ill to my name. So I went down there with the court order and said, look, this is what I need you to do. They said, hey, you can't wear that little hat on a state ID. That's what they said. This is the letter they sent me back. Let's magnify. See? Dear Mr. Muhammad, a recent quality check of our records show that the photo taken on Wednesday, September the 19th, 2018, I told y'all I've been at this for a minute, does not meet the state requirements. Hello. Please return to the nearest MVD office to have your photo retaken free of charge. A new photo is required prior to the issuance of the driver's license. I apologize for any inconvenience, and if I may be of any assistance, please contact me at the below number. Mary Reyes. Woo, I couldn't wait. Couldn't wait to go down here to DMV. See, I want the correspondence. Why do I want the correspondence? Because you ain't going to believe what's coming out my mouth. You ain't going to believe me. I've been working with us a long time. But you will believe white folks, as they are called. ADOT said, we're not accepting your photo because you got that little hat on. We're not going to accept that. Come down and take another picture. And I brought this with me. Hold on. This is from our government that you say don't exist. You say they don't recognize our government. You say they don't recognize our paperwork. That's what you say. Okay, well, you can't prove what you say. I can prove what I say. Pay attention to the document. Pay attention to the document. Let me magnify it before y'all try to copy and paste. To whom it may concern, religious headdress for passport photo. Thomas Muhammad Ill, the applicant for the United States of America, not the United States, the United States of America passport is hereby a member of the Moorish Science Temple Divine and National Movement of North America Incorporated, number 13, a religious organization established in the state of Maryland. Please check the appropriate request description. It's a unisex document. Pursuant to the First Amendment and the first section of the 13th Amendment with its 20 sections. Now, if they did not know that the 13th Amendment with 20 sections of the United States Constitution is the law of the land, they would have balled this up and hit me in my eye with it. Per the requirement of the above mentioned organization, all male members must wear a maroon red fez for all official documents, such as the request for a passport. It is his religious and national headdress, and if you are a sister, you wear your turban. Simple. Let's get off of it. Let's keep it moving. Okay, now, there it is. I presented that to them. Do you see they reissued the license? Because if you notice, I got all the proof for our truth. My head is in a different position on this photo. Now I'm talking to all y'all moles that say our paperwork don't work. I'm gonna prove to you that it does. And what we teach at our school in law and history is absolutely 100% the invincible truth. You just scared to stand up on it. That's what it is. I took it again. I went down there and they said not for federal ID. I went down there and got the national ID. I got all that straight. Boom. Let's keep it moving. Okay. There's something else y'all say y'all can't do. There's something else. Oh, wait a minute. Let me hold on. Let me do this here. Arizona Department of Transportation, right? This will be the title to my car. Look where my car is registered. I live in Arizona. This was issued by the Arizona Department of Transportation, but look at where my car is registered. Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America Incorporated, number 13, 2530 North Calvert Street, Suite 101, Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland. That would be where our court is, in Baltimore. Uh-oh. So any correspondence that you want to deal with, dealing with my personal conveyance, which is called a car, keep it simple for everybody in the listening audience, it's got to go through our court first. Hence, let me give you a real situation that just happened 3-4 days ago. I got a phone call from my national grand chief. Ring. Islam, Mo. Islam, sir, how you doing? Yeah, Mo, your tags is here. Tags for your car. Here in Baltimore. I'll mail them straight out to you. Proof of the truth. Right there in your face. Everything I do, more science. Uh-oh, here we go. Remember the judge told me to go to Social Security Administration first? Remember that? Remember that? You see this is from the Social Security Administration, right? See, we took the court order down to the Social Security Administration. Remember I told you every time you do something, if you do it correctly, the European, you're going to have a paper trail that look like mine. See? So if you don't have a paper trail, I know you ain't doing nothing. This is a receipt to show that you applied for a Social Security card on September the 19th, 2018. You do understand I had a Social Security card prior to that, right? Prior to that date. You do understand I had a Social Security card prior to that date. This is me getting a Social Security card with the ill annexed to my name and changing the status, my political status, in their system. See what it says? This is a receipt to show, because you ain't gonna believe nothing I say. I told them, print out a receipt. You ain't gonna believe nothing I say. And it serves as a condemnation against them as well, because if they ever come back and be like, we don't have that in our system, I'm gonna bring this paperwork right to them. I'm like, well, it was in your system on this day. What happened to it? There's the signature of the field office manager. What? What? See, you don't want to deal with me, brother and sister. I'm telling you. I'm in beast mode. This is God mode right here. Greatness on another level. Straight up. Allah in man or woman. I don't want you to think I'm out here disrespecting the sisters. And it should be the same with you. This is a receipt to show that you applied for a Social Security card on September the 19th, 2018. You should have your card in about 2 weeks. Any documents you have submitted are being returned to you. Hello? Hello? So if I got the receipts, I got the documents that were submitted as well. Hopefully you don't have any questions. Here we go. Now this is where y'all fall off the wagon right here. It took me a long time to figure out why National Grand Chief Joe Brian Bay out of Baltimore got me going into these people's jurisdiction. We in the United States jurisdiction. You in the state of Arizona. Why didn't we just do everything in our jurisdiction and hell with these people? I understand. That was my sentiment. But I understand it now. Because they can't come back and argue, brother, that they didn't know, they didn't understand, because hey, you ain't seen a Moorish document yet. Not when it comes to the court. Everything that comes that's dealing with a court document is Maricopa County. You can physically drive there. You can physically see what's happening. Because many of you Moors are like, well, y'all say y'all got a court, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't believe that. Okay. Take our court out the jurisdiction. Let's take it out. Let's take it out for right now. We're going to bring it back in just a minute. I'm going to show you how to do it. You do understand this one that's on your screen. You do recognize Maricopa County. Google that. You do recognize the state of Arizona. Google that. So ain't no controversy there. This is notice of filing for judgment. Remember I said that you putting your paperwork on the record and there's one issue for them? It is, but remember what Prophet Noble Ali said? There is but one issue. And that is for them to be recognized. Well, you can't be recognized unless it is publicly known, widely spread. So I'm putting it on the record so that it can be publicly known and widely spread through a court order in their jurisdiction that they recognize. How about that? So we filed a notice of foreign judgment. A foreign judgment is one jurisdiction talking to another jurisdiction. Did you catch it? One jurisdiction talking to another jurisdiction. So now the Moorish American National Republic is getting ready to talk to the state of Arizona. And the Moorish American National Republic is going to dictate, this is what you going to do with our citizen. Not member, I'm a citizen. Some of y'all just members. I am a citizen. Anywho, and let me clarify. If you haven't went through this process right here with the paperwork, if your paperwork don't look like this, you still a member. Sorry about that. You still a U.S. citizen. Sorry about that. It's not what I say, it's what I can prove. I don't care how mad you get. I don't care how mad you get. Fix your face. Fix your face. Stop all this emotional outbursts. Because emotional outbursts are not going to correct me. You're going to have to come with some actual facts. So now, this is me filing a foreign judgment. Let me magnify. Now, you don't need to copy and paste and crop and do all that other stuff for you illegal people that want to do stuff illegally. You can go down to your courthouse and get the paperwork off the website, off their website. Notice, now, if our court did not exist, I just told you my tags went through our court in Baltimore. If our court didn't exist, you see the plaintiff is? The plaintiff is not me. It doesn't say Thomas Muhammad Eel up there. It says the Moorish Supreme Court of Equity and Truth. Notice of filing a foreign judgment. One jurisdiction getting ready to talk to another jurisdiction. In this case, the Moorish American National Republic is talking to the United States. The Moorish American National Republic is talking to the state of Arizona. Two corporate entities. A government talking to a de facto government. The republic talking to statutory law. Common law in comparison to statutory law. I'm going to say it several different ways so you get it. So the plaintiff is the common law court of the Moorish Supreme Court of Equity and Truth. I didn't physically go there, brother and sister. This is a government of forms. Everything you want to do, you got to fill out some paperwork to do it. You want Social Security benefits, you got to fill out forms for that. You want to change your driver's license, they got a form for that. You want to annex your ELM Bay, they got an adult name change form for that. You want to get food stamps, EBT card, they got another form for that. You want to get a mortgage to put on your house, even though it's illegal, they got lots of paperwork for that. Everything is paperwork. So it's a government of forms. So depending on what paperwork you submit, depends on what paperwork you get back. You notice I keep showing you a paper trail. At every stage, it's a paper trail. Okay. So the Moorish Supreme Court of Equity and Truth, which is a common law court, which is the highest court in the land, highest law in the land. Common law supersedes all laws. Remember, according to the Supreme Court, that's what that was. Okay. Versus, look up, pay attention, versus the Social Security Administration, the Internal Revenue Service, the U.S. Bureau of Foreign Affairs, that would be the United Nations, and the U.S. Passport Agency. Hello? The Moorish Supreme Court of Equity and Truth, common law court, versus the Social Security Administration, the Internal Revenue Service, the U.S. Bureau of Foreign Affairs, which is the United Nations, and the U.S. Passport Agency. What are you doing, Deputy Sheikh Thomas Muhammad Hill? We are putting those organizations aforementioned on notice that I am a Moorish American and I am outside of their jurisdiction officially, on paper, through a court order that they recognize. It is forcing them to recognize the Moorish American National Republic as the highest entity in the land. I don't care what you say, it's what I can prove. Get out your feelings. It is what it is. And it's on the record. I got something for you. You're going to love where this is going. So you see that was filed. You see my signature down there, Sheikh Thomas Muhammad Hill? 103.6. Just for you moles that like the Uniform Commercial Code, there goes some Uniform Commercial Codes for you. All rights reserved. 103.6. Let's keep it moving. And you ain't got to copy and cut and paste. Brother and sister, just go to the website, your court's website, and pull the document down. So this was filed. You see the CV number? CV 2019-091371. What you really should be interested in is what's attached to this foreign judgment. It was filed. Look what was attached to it. Look what's attached to it. A court order from our common law court. Wait a minute. I don't think you caught what I'm saying. We issued a court order from our common law court forcing them to recognize Thomas Muhammad Hill as a Moorish American outside of the jurisdiction of the United States. And we did it officially on the record and put it in their jurisdiction with their court. Yeah, I love this stuff. I'm not going to waste time. You see how long our court order is, but I am going to magnify this. Point number 8, the intent of this order is to clarify the foreign status of Moorish American citizens. See the capital C? Remember Prophet Noble Drew Ali said in the plea to the nation, one must apply to the free national government, and the only way you can apply to the free national government is to go through a naturalization process, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4, to establish a uniform rule of naturalization. You see what happens when you internalize the information that is coming out of our School of Law and History. Do you notice the brother is not fumbling around with papers, flipping through books, just rolling with it? That's what happens when you study and make the information that you are getting in the School of Law and History a part of your life, because ultimately something is going to come up in your life where the only way you going to get through is to have this information in your head. Boy, the stuff I could tell you that I've been through in the last 4-5 months. I can't be picking up the phone calling Baltimore like, oh, Darren Grant, help me out. I'm in a controversy. I got to know what I know. I did call him a few days ago. We was in a serious controversy. And Big T don't get in those controversies. I smash folks. I just didn't have the lung capacity to deal with what I had to deal with. So we use technology. We use the fax machine to fax over some of my paperwork to these people that I was dealing with, because I could not talk. Physically, I could not speak. It was too much. Had to circle the wagons, had to call my family in to be a mouthpiece for me. And you better believe something was definitely wrong, boy, if I can't talk. But thank God we had some paperwork. Paperwork did all the talking. Check it out, point number 8. The intent of this order is to clarify the foreign status of Moorish American citizens who are domiciled within the American landmass. Notice I said America was a continent. Remember I said that? And not within the United States. You notice the United States is in all caps, letting you know it's a corporate entity. The Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America Incorporated, number 13. Stop. I'm going to say it again. The Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America Incorporated, number 13, is in all caps also. So that must be a corporate entity doing business and conducting business on behalf of the Moorish American National Republic, which is the government. One government, two jurisdictions, according to the Supreme Court. You ain't gonna believe me, but I bet you believe what you see. The Moorish American National Republic is a foreign entity with the right to self-autonomy as an indigenous tribal nation. Oh, didn't say a club, didn't say a clique, it said a nation. According to the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People. As Moorish American nationals, Moors, Moors are not U.S. citizens. Moorish Americans are American citizens, which is not to be confused with the corporate and artificial U.S. citizens. The United States is a corporation, and with that being said, Moors are not U.S. citizens / employees of and for the United States Corporation. I told you. Let's get off of that. I remember all this is on the record. I know you don't believe it. You said that document's in color. Well, this was in black and white because the courts do not accept color documents. So here it is in black and white. You see the CV number. You see it says copy. That means it was actually filed. There it is. With the foreign judgment, forcing them to recognize not only our jurisdiction, but our common law court. That means hands off Thomas Muhammad Ill. Now, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what it is. But I know this is my paperwork in front of you. And as you see, affidavit of service by certified mail, which meant I sent everything certified mail. Why? Because I want somebody to sign for it on the other end. That way we know you got it. So we sent the court order recognizing Thomas Muhammad Ill as a non-resident alien and Moorish American, which puts me squarely outside of the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia, i.e. the United States government, i.e. Washington, D.C., i.e. the United States codes, i.e. statutory law, i.e. the IRS and federal income taxes, which go to pay for the national debt that you didn't vote on and nobody else. That's why we did it the way we did it. Now, I don't care. You can do it how you want to do it. But you will never be able to say you didn't see it, the lawful demonstration today. And ain't no need you calling me, could you explain this? I ain't explaining nothing else after I put this mic up today. I'm going to let it sit up there online for months, because it's all being explained right now. So again, affidavit of service by certified mail. Why? Because I'm going to force them to send me back them little green cards, and then I'm going to take, there it is, CSA for official use, United States Postal Service. Notice, you ain't seen but one thing out of our jurisdiction, a court order recognizing Thomas Muhammad Ill as a non-resident alien. Officially. Everything else you've seen is in the United States jurisdiction. They sent this back. I took it and put it on the record. The last one was from, now this one's from the passport agency. They sent the greenback back. I took it and put it on the record. This one is from the United States Bureau of Foreign Affairs. That's the United Nations. I sent it to them. They sent me back the greenback. I put it on the record. This one is from the Social Security Administration. I sent all of them the foreign judgment and the court order recognizing Thomas Muhammad Ill as a non-resident alien. Again, squarely putting me outside the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia and the United States. Clearly, we ain't talking about what you're talking about. Notice you ain't heard me mention a UCC code yet. Now, We had already been to the Social Security Administration with a court order issued by Judge Lynch in Maricopa County. We had already done that. This is me coming back 6 months later. Now I'm giving them a foreign judgment. And watch what happens. There's the greenback. I put that on the record. All of this is in their system. Look what they sent back. Let me magnify this. And again, you see that's on official letterhead from Social Security. Remember Judge Lynch said as Social Security go, the whole government go? Well, let's see how the government going now. Dear Mr. Muhammad Ill, Social Security Regulation 20 CFR 422.110 requires an individual who wishes to change personal identifying information on a previously established Social Security number record to submit a form SS5. Now, when you graduated and went through the School of Law and History, one of our instructors should have taught you that this form SS5 was old age account number 7009, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But we know form SS5 is how you want to change your status. So if you didn't submit a form SS5, according to the Social Security Administration, you ain't doing that. Social Security Regulation 20 CFR 422.110 requires an individual who wishes to change personal identifying information on a previously established Social Security number record to submit a form SS5, application for a Social Security card, evidence of identity, and convincing evidence to substantiate the change. Now I'm changing my status officially. Now I'm changing my status. See, this is how I know they got the court order recognizing Thomas Muhammad Ill from our jurisdiction as a non-resident alien. That's how I know they got it, because they sent a blank form SS5 along with this letter. See what it says? Generally, we require evidence of a legal name change. I got a court order for that too. Remember I showed it to you earlier? As a marriage document, divorce decree. Look what it says, Mose. Look what it says. Naturalization certificate. So all y'all that's talking about nationalization, you crazy. Naturalization. The process by which one obtains nationality after birth. That's what Social Security says. That's what the Free National Constitution says. Prophet Noble Drew Ali told you in Act 5 to obey the Free National Constitution. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4 says to establish a uniform rule of naturalization. So I don't know what you're talking about. So that you can come back under the said government, which is the Republic, not the United States. We coming out of that, but we coming out of it officially on paper. You ain't heard me mention a uniform commercial code yet. And every organization I done put up on this screen, you dealing with right now. Right now. So when you come to me talking about they don't recognize our paperwork, shut up, fool. You didn't understand the paperwork nor recognize it until we showed it to you. So of course they never seen it. How they gonna see it if you don't put it on the record? Hello? How are they going to see it if you don't put it on the record? Duh. There's the blank SS5, form SS5 that they sent me. So when you get the blank form SS5 under point number 5, where it says citizenship, you are to check the box other. And then you write them federal codes in that we aforementioned. 465 and 667. Just write them in. Then they know, oh, that's a Moorish American right there. Now that's in the system with the Social Security Administration. And as Judge Lynch said, as Social Security go, the rest of the government go. See? So not only are we recognized domestically, we're recognized internationally. Let me keep it moving. You see all my documents right there. Passport, law enforcement credential, nationality card, passport card, and driver's license. Let's keep it moving. Because I got to get to the thing y'all terrified of. Let's come up here real quick. See, because I got to show you why you should go to the School of Law and History. Because a lot of y'all just out here doing stuff because you heard and you saw something on YouTube. So I'm going to follow that. Right. With no knowledge, just going by what somebody else said. See what this says? For the purpose of this affidavit, the term United States means only the federal legislative democracy of the District of Columbia, D.C., Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, American Samoa, and any other territory within the United States, which entity has its origins from the Organic Act of 1871, being a new government that was placed in the District of Columbia, in this district. Now, didn't I show you the act by Congress? The Act of 1871, didn't I show it to you? See how we got tangibility? See how we have proof of our truth? I'm not just going to talk to you. The United States is not to be construed to mean or include the 48 union states. Hello? State republics. So we talking about the union. We coming back to the union. Said government. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 6. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 5. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Plea to the nation. How many times you want me to say Prophet Noble Drew Ali before you get it? This ain't me, brother. I'm telling you, this ain't me. We dealing with Prophet Noble Drew Ali and his instructions to all of us. Now, if you don't want to follow Prophet Noble Drew Ali, please get out the way. I understand. I'm not going to hold it against you. But at the same time, I can't help you either. You're in the wrong jurisdiction. I cannot help you. Not to be construed to mean or include the 48 Union State Republics, which is the U period, S period, A period. Hello? Moors. The 48 Union State Republics, which is the U period, S period, A period. Back of the nationality card, I am a citizen, capital C, of the U period, S period, A period. We're naturalizing you officially into the U period, S period, A period. And we're causing you to apply to the free national government, not the national government, the free national government, through a process of naturalization. So you can proclaim your nationality that was stripped in 1775. Pursuant to the Title IV of the United States Code. So just in case they say, we don't know what y'all are talking about. We don't understand 48 Union State Republics. We don't know what that is. Well, pursuant to Title IV, you do know. Now, for the first time, I just mentioned a code. How they going to argue with the stuff they wrote? I'm waiting on them to come to me. I'm like, this is what I'm going to hit them with. It's on your screen, brother and sister. See what it says? Non-voluntary agreement of the IRS form W-4 status. Oop, we're not paying no more federal income tax. Sorry about that, because it's voluntary. It's voluntary. I don't want to do it. I don't want to play no more. I'm taking my ball. I'm going home. I don't want to do it. Okay. See what it says? The affiant is a natural person, not a corporate entity, a natural person, competent to make this affidavit and possesses full birth rights. Oh, we're teaching our people our nationality and birth rights? Ain't that how I opened up tonight? And unalienable rights by virtue of being under the jurisdiction of the Emancipation Proclamation that y'all say don't exist. Now, we sent this to the IRS. They got it. They got it. So if we was full of caca and the proclamations of President Abraham Lincoln back there in 1862, starting with the initial Emancipation Proclamation that don't nobody talk about, if it wasn't in fact the law of the land and the 13th Amendment with 20 sections ratified November 18th, 1865, if that didn't substantiate them four proclamations and was not made a permanent part of the free national constitution, what is this talking about? We sent this to the IRS. They got it. It was like, no, we changed jurisdictions. We're not dealing with that. They don't know what to do with Deputy Sheik, I'm telling you. Hold on. Oh, I ain't done with you. I ain't done with. Oh, I'm look, listen. See what it says right there, point number one? See what it says? Point number one. Hello. Neither born or naturalized in the United States nor subject to its jurisdiction. 10 square mile, District of Columbia. The affiant is not as described in 26 CFR 1.1-1C and the 14th Amendment. Now, that's where most of y'all have y'all citizenship through the 14th Amendment, making you a federal citizen, squarely under the District of the United States or the District of Columbia. A United States citizen. Ain't that what your claim to fame is? You a U.S. citizen? Brother and sister, if you haven't went all the way through the paperwork in this entire demonstration, you still a U.S. citizen. You still have a federal citizenship. You have not straightened out your status. Sorry. I can't help you. No, I was getting ready to say we, but I can't, I can't speak for everybody. I can't speak for me though. I can't help you because your paperwork aren't on the record. We dealing with a U.S. citizen by your own admission. Citizen, capital C, which described in Article 4, Article 4, Section 2 of the Free National Constitution for the U period, S period, A period. That ain't my language. That's Prophet Noble Drew Ali language. He the one said he was a citizen of the U period, S period, A period. Now, if that's the man you following, why you ain't a citizen of the U period, S period, A period? That's a question for you, not for me. And therefore, the affiant is an alien with respect to the United States. Not the United States of America, the United States. C 109 U.S. 3. Oh my God. 109 U.S. 3, 1883. The Supreme Court declared the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment void and unconstitutional. Look it up. 109 U.S. 3 in 1883. The Supreme Court declared the 13th Amendment with 2 sections, that's on the books right now, the 14th Amendment, which is on the books right now, which gives you your quote unquote citizenship, your U.S. citizenship, and the 15th Amendment, void and unconstitutional. You ain't read nowhere, nor have you heard from any attorney where they told you that was overturned by the United States Supreme Court. Nowhere. I challenge any one of them. Show it to me. Show it to me. Show it to me. Now, I'm going to read to you the actual IRS code. Since they collecting your taxes, your federal income tax is being retrieved by them, so they say, through the 16th Amendment. Okay, let's see what they said. We ain't talking about what you talking about. Let's see what they said. Internal Revenue Code, not my code. The Internal Revenue Code, Title 26, Chapter 1, Part 31, Section 3402, page 1. 26 CFR 31.3402, page 1, provides that the IRS Form W-4, the one you filled out on your job, is a voluntary withholding agreement between an employer and employee. There is no law requiring a worker or employee to complete IRS Form W-4. That is their tax code, not mine. That's straight out the IRS tax code. So if you want to keep paying into a system that ain't doing nothing for you, keep going. I don't care. But as I said at the very beginning of this demonstration, you will never get wealthy. We as a people will never get wealthy. We'll have all the spending power in the world, but we will never get wealthy as long as we have people and agencies in our pocket sucking our money. Just not gonna happen. And you paying money into an organization that ain't doing nothing for you. What is the IRS doing for you? Where is the delegation of authority from Congress that authorizes the IRS to collect taxes? According to the free national constitution, Congress is the only one that has the right to tax the people, not the IRS. But of course, you don't read the free national constitution, so you don't even know where that's located. I'm gonna put it on the screen in just a minute. Can we keep moving? We're gonna keep it moving. So you see that was notarized, and we sent that to the IRS. There's Judge Lynch, just in case y'all thought I was playing, and that's Deputy Sheikess Marie Lee Bay. I always have witnesses. Oh, we sent a nice little letter from their IRS commissioner. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to waste time. I got to move on. We sent them the court order recognized. Let me go back. You probably need to see this part right here. Just in case you thought I was playing. You see what it says? A tribal court of record. 18, United States Code 1151, Indian country. 2, the Social Security Administration, the Internal Revenue Service, the U.S. Bureau of Foreign Affairs, and the U.S. Passport Agency. We sent this to them. You see what it says? Do you see what it says? Let me go up some more. Yeah, it's our court. I just wanted, did you see it is real? Yeah, I ain't got time to be messing with y'all. Wasting time because you in your field. Now, we sent all that to them, foreign judgment, the whole nine. All right, we sent all our paperwork that was attached to it. So ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt. Now, just in case you thought I was playing, you see the paperwork, you see the CV numbers, so you like, yeah, brother, that's cute. I got something I ain't never did before I'm getting ready to do. You ready? Let's go here. Now, clearly, this is not the Moorish American National Republic. Clearly. This is the judicial branch of Arizona, Maricopa County. Now, I'm coming at all the Moors under the, listen, if you are under the leadership of National Grand Sheikh Joel Bratton Bay, been under his leadership for more than a year, and your paperwork is not on the record that look just like what I just showed you, I can't talk to you. I'm not being mean, brothers and sisters. I'm not being mean. Why don't the deputy sheik talk? You know, I'm gonna show you why in just a minute. You over here in the United States jurisdiction. You on the right of your screen. I'm over here on the left. This common law over here with a common law court. You in a tribunal, called a courtroom, a tribunal, and you're dealing with statutory law. We ain't gonna never have a meeting of the minds. We're in two different jurisdictions, officially, because you didn't straighten your status out. Your paperwork ain't on the record. Sorry about that, because your stuff don't look like this. See this? I ain't never did this before. I pray Allah, our National Grand Sheikh gonna get a kick out of this. You see this is the judicial branch of Arizona, Maricopa County, civil court case information. So see, I filed all my stuff, went back and made sure it was there. Because just because you say you filed it don't necessarily mean the European that you handed it to filed it. Do you see the CV number? Do you see the judge's name? Do you see where it says right here, 9/7/2018, order change of name. 9/13/2018 was the docket date. See what it says? Copy of order mail provided to the parties on date of filing. Now you can do this from your cell phone. So if you can't show me this in your jurisdiction, and you are sheik, deputy sheik, sheikist, deputy sheikist, what game are you playing? That means you just listening to me for entertainment purposes. You ain't serious. Hold on. You see it saying no judgments on file. Hold on. That was the original court order. Watch this. Same website. Ooh, look at this here though. Look at this here. Look at it. You thought I was playing? See what it says? Party information. Do you see it? Do you see where it was sent? Do you see they responded? Do you see this is their jurisdiction? Sheikh Thomas Muhammad Ill, Social Security Administration, defendant. Internal Revenue Service, defendant. U.S. Bureau of Foreign Affairs, defendant. U.S. Passport Agent, defendant. Affidavit of service, certified mail, all of it's right there. Notice of filing foreign judgment. And I didn't pay for it. None of it. You can't, I had to go down there and spend $300. You just a $300 fool. I told you, and it's in the instruction packet that you get from our government when you go through the School of Law and History, a waiver form. It's in the instruction sheet. Apply for the waiver form. See right there, 7/5/2019, application deferral / waiver. Do you see order deferring court fees right under it? You mean to tell me you went and got free on paper and didn't pay for it? Yep, because I actually follow National Grand Sheik. I don't just listen to him. There's a difference. So if you can't do this and you're one of our officers, shame on you. Shame on you. Take your fez off and sit down and be quiet. Because I personally think our members should be like, no, let me see your paperwork first before you tell me what you're telling me. Because how I know what you're saying work? Prove to me that you have went through the process all the way. Prove it to me. And again, if you can't do it, don't bother me. Now, I know most of you have not gotten to this point. So what you're about to see next, you really ain't. It's just above your pay grade. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to just go above your pay grade. It is what it is. Just in case you thought I was playing with the IRS. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 1 of the Free National Constitution, the Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes, not the IRS, duties, imposes, and exercises to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States, but all duties imposed and excises shall be uniform throughout the United States. Now, what I said was the Free National Constitution said, who Prophet Noble Drew Lee told you in Act 5 to obey, to follow, not to overthrow said government. Well, you're reading what said government talked about. Sorry about that. Let's keep it moving. And if the moles on YouTube ain't coming at you like this, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay. It is what it is. You are what is classified. If you have not went through this process, you are classified as what is called a stateless person. A stateless person is someone who, under the national laws, does not enjoy citizenship, the legal bond between a government and an individual. Hello? See why it's important for you to put your paperwork on the record and be recognized? Because you don't want to be recognized as a stateless person. And if you have not went through the lawful process that I just showed you on your screen, you still classified as stateless. A stateless person is someone who, under the national laws, notice it didn't say free national laws, it said national laws, does not enjoy citizenship, the legal bond between a government and an individual in any country, not just this one, in any country. While some people are de jure or legal stateless persons, hello, Black folks and African Americans, legally stateless, meaning they are not recognized. Hello, there is but one issue for them: to be recognized. Them who? All these people walking around talking about they Black, Negro, colored, African American, Ethiopian, etc. All them people. Meaning they are not recognized as citizens under the laws of any state. All 50, not recognized. Many people are de facto or effectively stateless persons, meaning they are not recognized as citizens by any state, even if they have a claim to citizenship under the laws of one or more states. You have a claim to citizenship because that's what your mama told you. That's what they told you on the TV. That's what you checked off on the form SS5 when you applied for a Social Security card. That's what's on your birth certificate. Yep, still ain't got a citizenship. Not according to the Free National Constitution, not according to the United Nations, not according to quote unquote white folks that you in love with and refuse to separate from. This is how you separate, brother and sister, on paper. So whatever they're doing in the United States jurisdiction, it does not apply to me. And I don't have no problems telling them that and shoving it down their throat. Don't even talk to me. It is what it is. And just in case you thought we was play pimping, Union States of America. Wait a minute. Union States. Remember that IRS, that affidavit of non-voluntary taxes? Remember that? And we sent that to the IRS? Remember it talked about the 48 Union States? Oh, okay. Incorporate. Here we go. The executive order. Number 11490, the Rex 84 plan and silent weapons for quiet wars has been in the hands of the popularly accepted individuals calling themselves the Black leaders since the early 1970s. Say what? Many have spoken of them, but few have logistically broken them down and disseminated the information to their alluring public. That would be the masses. The King Alfred plan implicates the true motive and reason why they do not. This is an executive order, 11490, written by the President of the United States. One will take note that all the people mentioned in these government plans, oh, it's a government plan. Wow. One would take note that all the people mentioned in these government plans, Blacks, that's how y'all identify, Indians, that's how y'all identify, Latinos, that's how y'all identify, Puerto Ricans, that's how you identify, and poor whites. This is how you identify on paper with all government forms. Do not include a de jure, which would be real, national name or title. Are you serious? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. President of the United States wrote an executive order that I'm now reading to you. Hold on. Prophet makes plea to the nation. Prophet Noble Drew Ali makes plea to the nation. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the man that you say you follow, said, I know all true American citizens are identified by national descent names. Oh, oh, I know all true American citizens are identified by national descent names to answer and apply to the free national constitution of this free national republic. One will take note that all the people mentioned in these government plans, Blacks, Indians, Latinos, Puerto Ricans, and poor whites, do not include a de jure national name or title. All of these words are chattel brands. Wait, wait, wait. Are you serious right now? Chattel brands, coined by the Europeans as substitute pedigree parentage names and were forced as appellations on the indigenous people of the America and their discards, which means their children. Are you serious? Is that what actually happened? Is that what actually happened? All day, all day. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they must know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black folks, Ethiopians, because these names were given to the slaves by the slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. One will take note that all the people mentioned in these government plans, Blacks, Indians, Latinos, Puerto Ricans, and poor whites, by your own admission, do not include a de jure national name or title. All these words are descriptive chattel brands coined by Europeans as substitute pedigree parentage names and were forced as appellations on the indigenous people of the America and their children. All people bearing these labels are identified as it. In these texts, one common thread is evident: no nationality equals no rights or human value. No nationality equals no rights or no human value. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. We can't make it no plainer than we making it. And if you don't take this all the way through, I can't help you. You'll never be able to say you didn't hear it today. Oh, and just thought I was playing. There's the United States Corporation right there. Hello. Hello. I'm gonna leave it right there on your screen. Right there. Just in case you thought I was playing, that they put this corporation in the District of Columbia. I know. You like, what? No. Please. See? Right here. We back over here. We back over here. Remember this? Be it enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled, that all a part of the territory of the United States, included within the limits of the District of Columbia, be and the same is hereby created into a government by the name of the District of Columbia. Hold on. All day. We can do it all day. I know you just, what? Wait a minute. Right there. Hold on. Can you see it? See what it says? Certificate of Incorporation, Internal Revenue Service. See? It's a corporation. De facto government. Congress said in the Free National Constitution, it said Congress has the right to collect the taxes. That's what it said. Right here. Congress. The Congress should have the power to lay and collect taxes. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? And who is this? Now what? All day. I can do this all day. Matter of fact, I'm getting excited because I'm like, wow. Just coming together. You see how it flows? It just come together. This is what happens when you study and you internalize. So now I can do this same demonstration without the visual aids because it's inside me. So when I interact with government agencies, when I interact with the IRS, when I interact with the police, when I interact with Social Security Administration, I'm coming from a whole nother spirit. And you notice I'm not trying to guess at what I'm saying. The harder you push, the harder I'm gonna push back. You got one way to deal with Deputy Sheikh Thomas Muhammad. One way, and that's to leave me alone. Because I love demonstrating the invincible truth. I love demonstrating. I'm trying to create opportunities where I can demonstrate. That's why I roll solo and I don't hang out with nobody because the police may roll up on me one day and you may not be strong enough to deal with what's going to come out my mouth. You be sitting over there shaking in your boots. I'm like, come on, Big T, man. You ain't got to talk so bold, man. You're going to get us in troubles. You're going to get us in troubles. Go on, get around here. You're going to kill us. Shut up. Want to hear that? That's your spirit. That ain't mine. You hear mine. I'm putting my demonstration in the public. So not only do you get to go back and listen to it, the European, our open enemy, get to listen to it. Because I want them to know when you come talk to me, this how I'm coming at you. And I'm coming at you with what you wrote, the laws you passed in your jurisdiction. How you gonna get out from under that? Let's keep it moving. See what this says? United States Supreme Court. I'm wrapping it up right now. United States Supreme Court. See what it says? It is a well-established principle of law that all federal statutes and regulations apply only within the territorial jurisdiction of the United States. So if you didn't get out of the federal jurisdiction called the United States, all the statutes apply to you. It is a well-established principle of law that all federal statutes and regulations apply only within the territorial jurisdiction of the United States. And it put in parentheses the District of Columbia. This is all to all you U.S. citizens that refuse to naturalize, who refuse to take the paperwork after you've naturalized and put it on the record all the way through, who refuse to follow this demonstration. See? Unless a contrary intent appears. What, did you catch that? Unless a contrary intent appears. There is but one issue for them. There's but one issue for them to be recognized. Contrary intent. Got to be put on the record. It's got to be publicly known. Meaning if implementing regulations are published in the Federal Registry. See, you got to let these people know who you are so that none of this applies to you. Let's continue. I'm not going to leave you alone. Thus, see what it says? They put stuff in bold. I love white folks. I'm telling you, I really do. Because they condemn themselves in their writings. These federal statutes and regulations used by the Internal Revenue Service are applicable only within the territorial and legislative jurisdiction of the District of Columbia. Well, what if you outside of that? What if you gave them a non-resident alien court order placing you outside of the United Nations? I guess the IRS and the federal statutes don't apply to you. You thought I was playing. We ain't talking about what I'm talking about. We talking about what the United States Supreme Court talking about. The federal statutes and regulations used by the Internal Revenue Service are applicable only within the territorial and legislative jurisdiction of the District of Columbia, per the U.S. Supreme Court. See? Thus, the IRS statutes and regulations are specifically limited in their geographical jurisdiction, as well as the legislative jurisdiction for the application toward those who are the proper federal taxpayers. That's not me, as expressed in IRS code at section 7701. A14, the limited geographical and legislative jurisdiction. Let me stop right here. Legislative jurisdiction means the legislative jurisdiction of your state, because they all in cahoots and they are now all corporate. That's why it's called the state of Arizona, not the Arizona Republic. Hint to the wisest official. The limited geographical and legislative jurisdiction for IRS statutes and regulation is restricted to the District of Columbia by the legislative intent of the 16th Amendment. Oops. Uh-oh. Statutory taxpayers are defined to mean any person subject to the Internal Revenue tax. That's not me. We're not dealing with tax evasion. We're dealing with tax avoidance. According to the law, that's the proper term, tax avoidance. We're not required because we're outside of the jurisdiction. We have an affidavit on file that says, according to IRS code, section 3002, that taxes are voluntary between an employer and an employee. Statutory taxpayers are defined to mean any person subject to any internal revenue tax. The statutory term person, as defined in the IRS code at section 7701A1, refers only to statutory legal fictions created by and under the dominion of the U.S. Congress. You thought I was playing. Wait a minute. By the U.S. Congress. Wait for it. Let me find it. Let me find it. I got to find it, because it's going to take on new meaning now. Oh, wait a minute. Let me find it. Oh, we lost it. Oh, it's up here. I'm going to find it because I haven't closed it out. Boom. Hold on. Bear with self. Bear with self. I got to find it. Got to find it. Hold on. There it is. Wait, let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. Boom. Thus, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Statutory taxpayers are defined to mean any person subject to the Internal Revenue tax. The statutory term person, as defined in the Internal Revenue Code at section 7701A1, refers only to statutory legal fictions created by and under the dominion of the U.S. Congress. It says the statutory term subject to. So when you read the 14th Amendment and you see that verbiage in the 14th Amendment and they're talking about subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, means dominion and control of the national government, not the free national government, the national government. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said the free national government. They talking about the national government. That's what they say in their writings. See what it says? The ideal prevails with some. Indeed, it has expression in arguments at the bar that we have in this country substantially two, not one, two national governments. One to be maintained under the Constitution, free national Constitution, with all of its restrictions. The other to be maintained by Congress outside and independently of the original Constitution. all day. Let's move on. I ain't got all day to be playing with y'all. We're wrapping it up. So what this does when you go through this lawful process up to what you have seen, that takes you out from under the 14th Amendment, and it neutralizes your federal citizenship. I say it takes you out from up under the 14th Amendment, and it takes you out of your federal citizenship. Now, last year, probably early last year, we had some of our members decided that they were going to, and they were authenticating birth certificates, and they was doing all kind of stuff. And I came into our members forum and I asked the question, who authorized you to do that? Two questions. Who authorized you to do it? And why are you doing it? One, who authorized you to do it? And why are you doing it? Little controversy there. People were hemming and hawing and all that kind of stuff. Nobody answered me when I asked them, why did you do it? Nobody answered. Nobody. And I know a lot of us got our birth certificates authenticated and we got all kind of conversation. I'm still waiting to hear why we didn't do it or why we did it. What you gonna do with it? Now that it's done, now that you got it all authenticated, what does it mean and what are you gonna do with it? So we done gave you almost a year to get me the answer. So if the answers start floating around now, I know you listened to my demonstration and now you coming with what I already know. Federal citizenship, Black's Law Dictionary. Check it out. Rights and obligations accruing by reason of being a citizen of the United States. State or status of being a citizen of the United States. A person born or naturalized in the United States and subject to, there it is, the jurisdiction thereof, is a citizen of the United States and of the state wherein he resides. 14th Amendment. Now, the problem with that is that we're not 14th Amendment citizens. So we went through this entire process that you just seen to neutralize that federal citizenship. Brother and sister, that's the federal level. Would you agree? What did you do with your state republic? I'll wait. What did you do with your state republic? Did you put them on notice at any time? Did you see any paperwork that you see up here on your screen that went to your state? Specifically, did you change anything in reference to the state? And if you did, good for you. But most of you didn't straighten it out officially on the federal level. And even if you did straighten it out on the federal level, you couldn't explain it just the way I just explained it if your life depended on it. How do I know that? Because you ain't talking about it. If we took all your books away and said, okay, you graduated the School of Law and History, you got paperwork in your possession, all I'm gonna give you is your paperwork, that's it, and go explain how you got free. First, explain how you got enslaved, and then explain how you got free. What is the process that you use? What law are you enforcing to uphold your freedom? We must enforce the law to save the nation. Prophet Noble Ali. But you can't save the nation until you save yourself first. So what law must you know in order to enforce it? What law? What laws specifically do you need to enforce? And where do you enforce them? How do you enforce them? So you straightened out with our non-resident alien court order that recognizes Thomas Muhammad Eel as a non-resident alien, placing me squarely outside the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia. Good for you, Big T. What did you do on the state level? Because according to the free national constitution that is on your screen right now, let's read that. Article 3, Section 2. Let's read it together, shall we? Clause 1. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity arising under this Constitution, the laws of the United States, and treaties made or which shall be made under their authority, to all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls, to all cases of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction, to controversies to which the United States shall be a party to, controversies between two or more states. States is capitalized. That means it's a proper noun. Between a state and citizens. State and citizens is capitalized, which means now this, when you see this, citizens of another state, citizens of a state, this is talking about citizens of the U period, S period, A period. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, flip over your back of the nationality card, says, I'm a citizen of the U period, S period, A period. Do you understand you have to do that officially at the state level? Do you understand that? Do you understand when you authenticated your birth certificate, what you was actually doing and why? I'm gonna just let it marinate. It's right there in your face. Between a state, capital, and citizens, capital, of another state. Between citizens of different states, between citizens of the same state, claiming lands under grants of different states, and between a state or the citizens thereof, foreign states, citizens, or subjects. Look how many times the word states is mentioned. We're not talking about the state of Arizona. We're not talking about the state of Florida. We're talking about the republic. Free national constitution. First 7 articles. This is Article 3, in case you forgot. But you got to be able to enforce it, not by talking. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. I'm wrapping it up. Last point. Oh, sookie now. You've never seen me do this in the public, and you probably won't see me do it again. So, authenticated birth certificate. Look at that, from the state of Florida, because that's the state I was born in. Yep. Secretary of State. Look who it come from. Came from the Secretary of State. That's the government, right? In the state. Now, my question to you is, if the state register of vital statistics, state of Florida, got me registered there, how come, what proof do you have that you registered in the Moorish Bureau of Vital Statistics? Did you really change jurisdictions? You see how important a Bureau of Vital Statistics is? That's how you keep track of all your citizens. Now, before some of you crazy brothers and sisters be like, see, right there, brother, that's their jurisdiction. Hold yourself, please. Hold yourself. I'm putting them on notice. You're going to see in just a minute. Oh, you remember, since y'all want to talk, let me blow this up. This is my birth certificate from them. This is how you know they got my non-resident alien court order that not only puts me outside of the jurisdiction of DC, which is the federal government, it also puts me outside of their jurisdiction at the national level, which is the state of Florida. See what it says? Got my parents' name on there, got the county I was born in. Yay, there's my dad right there. Wonderful. Amended date. Evidentiary documentation information. Look at the date, brother and sister. February the 4th, 2022. Big T don't play. I waited for all y'all to get y'all stuff authenticated. Y'all didn't tell me y'all was authenticating. I had to get blindsided with that one, but that's okay. Allah blesses he whom he blesses. With all your gettings, get the understanding, for it is the principal thing. You may have your birth certificate authenticated, but you don't have the understanding that I got. And you definitely don't have the skill set to walk with just the authenticated birth certificate, nothing else. Board airplanes. They're like, sir, do you have a driver's license? No. No, I have no driver's license. I got the birth certificate authenticated by the Secretary of State out of the Florida Republic. Now what? You said, oh, they ain't gonna recognize that. I'm telling you what they, oh, yes, they are. See what it says? Child's name originally listed on the birth record as Thomas Leroy Byron's II. Legally changed to Thomas Muhammad what? Ill. By certified court order pursuant to statute issued by duly authorized judiciary official. Now look down below. See what it says? Court jurisdiction, Maricopa County, Arizona, docket number CV 2018-093199. Now, just in case you thought I was play pimping, let me get out of this. Let me come back over here. Just in case, you know, because I know you don't forgot your memory. You can measure your memory in nanoseconds. I get it. I get it. What'd that say? What'd that say? All day. This is the importance of doing it the way I said do it, so that when we get to that piece with the certification of the birth certificate, it all lines up. There is no problem. Why? Because we're going to take this authenticated birth certificate and we get ready to send it to the U.S. Passport Agency, recognizing you on the state level. We already straightened out the federal level. Now we recognizing you on the state level, which means once that process is done, we have nothing else to talk about, ever. I only exist now where I want to exist. I'm just letting it marinate. Now you see, hopefully you see the importance of going through all these steps the way I did it. It's all on the record. So when the state of Florida goes, you notice they checked. You notice they checked. They ain't taking your word for nothing. You notice they checked, they verified. Right here. Let's keep moving. So I took the authenticated birth certificate and I filled out a renewal form for a passport with a letter of explanation. And this is me communicating back and forth with the United States Department of State, because I already had a passport and they recognized, they checked. They said, hey, we see we issued you a passport back there in 2018. And if you misplace your passport book, I had the card. I indicated on the form that I had the card, but not the book. It was like, you need to fill out a stolen form. This is the stolen form that I submitted to them. Now, watch how they came back. Notice I told you everything I do, there's a paper trail in it. So again, Mose, if you don't have a paper trail that look like the one I'm talking about, I can't talk to you. I can't help you. You ain't did nothing. The loss or theft of a valid U.S. passport is a serious matter. Therefore, your enclosed replacement passport book has been printed with one of the following statements on the back page, which does not affect the validity period of your passport book. This passport is a replacement for a lost passport that is on the book. So I got a new passport card. I sent them the name change form way back in the day. I sent the one that I did a few years ago. I sent them this letter of explanation, which I'm not going to blow up and let you see it so you can copy and paste everything. Get it from our National Grand Sheik. That's what you do. Matter of fact, get your own. Then you can read it at your leisure, but I am going to blow a certain part of it up. See where it says right there, please note the following concerning my proper nationality and citizenship. The facts of my birth, West Palm Beach, Florida, America, and with documents I am submitting determine that my nationality is Floridian, being born in Florida, and according to the U.S. Government Printing Office Style Manual in Section 5.23, in designating the natives of the states, the following forms will be used and should be reflected on my passport in the section nationality. So they're not going to change their passport just for you. It's still going to say America, but what we want to know is what's in the system. See how I sent them documentation, letting them know, no, I'm a citizen of the U period, S period, A period. See what it says? Floridian, as opposed to United States of America, all caps, and therefore am a citizen of the United States of America, not the same as a U.S. federal citizen and entitled to a passport. I am not a 14th Amendment citizen born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. I am a citizen of Florida, being an inhabitant and having my domicile in Florida, and therefore a citizen, capital C, of these United States of America, as I stated in my passport application. Keep it moving. Now, please don't get this part right here twisted. Oh, let me get it. I think I went too far. Don't get this part right here twisted. Hold on. And again, go through this yourself so you'll have your own passport letter of explanatory statement. You can't have mine. You got to get your own. And you should want your own. I'm going to find what I'm looking for in just a minute. Hold on. I had all this figured out. There's a line I specifically want you to see. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I got it. I got it. Right here. See what that says? Let's read it. See what that says? Let's read it. This was notarized, was it not? Yes, it was. I preserve all of my unalienable rights that are inherent from my Creator at all times, divine and national rights. Pursuant to 28 United States Code 1746-1, I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of America that the statements made on this passport application and within this statement are true, correct, with explicit reservation of all rights without prejudice, non-assumptive, without the United States, 28 United States Code 1746-1. These explanatory statements and the foregoing instrument were acknowledged before me this 15th day of August, year 2022, by Thomas Muhammad Eel, who is personally known to me, or who has produced a Moorish American nationality card as identification. End of demonstration. Ain't got time to be messing with you. That was sent to the United States Passport Agency. And our National Grand Sheik, Joe Bratton Bay, told me, when you are interacting with law enforcement, brother, please do not show them a driver's license. Do not show them that. Show them your passport. Show them your passport. This is the inside jacket of the passport. Notice it's got Abraham Lincoln up there. Hello? The man that ain't do nothing for nobody. The Secretary of State of the United States of America. Notice that. Notice that. Hereby requests all whom it may concern to permit to the citizen / national of the United States named herein to pass without delay. To pass without delay or hindrance, and in case of need, to give all lawful aid and protection. Have you ever taken the time to look up the word pass in a law dictionary? Have you ever did that? You should do that. You should get your law dictionary out and look up the word pass, P-A-S-S. Look up the noun, not the verb. Pass. Noun, law, dictionary, permission to pass, a license to go or come, a certificate emanating from authority wherein it is declared that a designated person is permitted to go beyond certain boundaries which without such authority he could not lawfully pass. The Secretary of State of the United States of America hereby requests all whom it may concern to permit the citizen / national of the United States named herein to pass without delay or hindrance, and in case of need, to give all lawful aid and protection. That's what I show the police. You have a driver's license? I do, but this is what you're getting ready to get. If you're going to talk about people don't have jurisdiction, then act like they don't have jurisdiction. You have to force them to comply with the laws. You have to enforce the law to save the nation, but you got to know what you're talking about first. Hopefully that made sense. I'm through talking. I done said enough. You done seen enough, and it is what it is. I'm going to let it sit on the public for months. Write your commentary below. And if what I have demonstrated here today is not real, not lawful, not authentic, not authorized, then I want you to go on YouTube and put your argument in the public. Come with the actual facts, though. Come with the tangibility. That's what I want you to do. I'll wait on you. I'm waiting. And with that, family, I'll greet you as I came in. Islam, 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 peace. Peace, peace. May Allah bless you with the light of understanding. Peace. All right, let me get up out of here. Bear with me. Let me stop this recording. Stop.